All right, we are live on YouTube here. This is episode 25 of Irish Whips and Arm Drags, and we got a hell of a show for y'all tonight. And we got our lovely crew. We have my good friend from Russo's brand, Ross, in the house. We got our wrestling encyclopedia who gets more pussy than Dave Meltzer, Jerry D. Sills in the house. We have my Irish friend there, Paladin, who does not drink Irish coffee, allegedly.
Yes, he does.
Paladin. Yes, he does, of course. And we got Douglas Turismo on the right, Chris. And we got the man of the hour, man of the power, too high to be sour, Tommy Halter, who is feeling shy today. That's why his camera's not on. But hey, we don't judge.
No, yeah, I just look like a fucking hobo right now. You don't want to look at me.
Well, shout out to our friend Bobo,
Yeah.
who couldn't make it today. We'll give our homie a shout out here. Okay, so the first one I want to start with. So last night on Paladin's Holy Soldiers show, I made a mistake that Tommy pointed out, and it was the bot conversation here. So we're going to start with this here. All right. So we're going to talk about the suspicious bot engagement raises questions around AEW on TV Facebook post. So AEW is facing questions about suspicious online engagement after screenshots surfaced showing multiple accounts posting the exact same comments under a sponsored Facebook post from the company's AEW on TV page. The screenshot quickly spread online after users notified account after account repeating the same sentence almost word for word underneath the advertisement. The AEW on TV Facebook page currently has 1.3 million followers, making the strange engagement possible to ignore once people started pointing it out. So the comment that was repeated, and I'll show the picture shortly. I can't wait to watch. It's going to be awesome. That's pretty awesome. Then many people were starting to catch on, and they were saying, "Oh, 100,000 bots go missing." Those got questions for the detectives. The study's not done. What I understand is he had a. Oh, and this is what Dave Meltzer, by the way. I forgot to say, Super Dave here, discussed the bot allegations on his show, and this is what Dave had to say. The study's not done. What I understand is that he had a premonition of this, being that it's kind of his field. Then he got somebody independent on an independent firm and asked him to just kind of study stuff, including this. The data is still ongoing. It is not concluded, but they did report to him. I guess probably today or yesterday, when he just reported. So that was the first stuff he got, which confirmed his initial suspicions. If you read it, I would say you would say that WWE is paid for the botnet. I don't know that there is or isn't proof of that. So what happens is that Tony Khan pays for troll farms and he pays these bots. He pays for these social media attacks and he pays for negative waves of Twitter attention to be, what's the word, focused. Then this Dave Lopeclo guy claimed the alleged activity happens constantly and is mostly concentrated on Twitter. He also claimed he personally experienced similar online harassment himself before publicly calling it out. He had this to say. Sometimes it's more obvious than others, but it's still ongoing. It's just on Twitter. It's only on Twitter. And he pays for these things. And it's a wave of negative harassment to anyone that leaves that company. It was a wave of negative harassment around me back in July, and then I figured it out. I called it out. They all know it. For the women, it is really, really hurtful. For the men, too. It causes psychological damage, but it's ongoing. I'm not worried about being sued. If there's discovery, there's no way they would sue me because I'm right. End quote. So at this current time, there is no evidence directly tying AEW to the suspicious Facebook engagement, but this is the screenshot right here. So last night, when I got wrong, the tweet was on X, but the screenshot from these comments that you guys see is on Facebook. So I correct my mistake from last night's show. So that's it right there. And I want to give Reddit user SC Jerk credit for capturing this picture because to my understanding, it's no longer visible on Facebook. So, and we'll start the question here, Ross. I'll go with you first. Do you think the repeated comments under the AEW Facebook post look suspicious, or is this all being blown out of proportion?
Probably, but I'm gonna have to go with my snoozer on this right here because this is 2026. This shit happens probably with everything. I would think. Like I don't know. Like maybe so, but I guess I hate to say who cares really, But like, is it that big of a deal? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure they would do it, but I don't know. To me, it does. I don't know. I know that's not a very good answer, but like, it's kind of like not that big a deal to me. Even if they are doing it, maybe they shouldn't. I mean, obviously, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have much on that.
Fair. All right, Tommy, let's go to you, my friend. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this on the Holy Soldiers podcast. A lot of people, they fake it till they make it, and then sometimes when they make it, they keep faking it.
Yep.
And I've seen this with Cardi B. I've seen these with a lot of mainstream entertainers. Sometimes they just get bots that they never asked for. I know I got bots that I never asked for on Facebook. So I will throw in a little grain of salt. But when it's like AEW and it's not an independent, Facebook page, these guys are definitely pumping up the numbers, juicing up the numbers, making it look like they have a positive fan base and a positive engagement online. And, it just makes you look fake. It's not organic. It's not authentic. And, I don't hate it. I don't think people should be banned for botting, but I do think they should crack down harder on removing bots because I know it's annoying when I get a notification and it's a fucking sex bot. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I hate that shit, but unfortunately, that's just like the environment we're in. And I think it is kind of embarrassing if AEW is doing that. So,
Okay.
I'm sure
All right.
WWE does it too. I don't have
So
proof, but
I'll go give you my 2 cents here quickly. I'm going to say the exact same thing I said last night on Holy Soldiers. Okay, my issue with bots, and Vince and Jeff talked about this on their show on Patreon with that Denise chick there. If you are buying bots, like to me, in my opinion, as a small time content creator, it is very lazy. Like you didn't earn those subscribers, you paid for those subscribers. And how can you be proud of that? At the end of the day, like all the subscribers I got on my small channel, I know those are people. I worked for that. I'm proud of what I got so far.
yeah, one like
And-
from a real person is way
Yeah.
more valuable than 10 from a fucking bot.
Exactly.
I will say I think for AEW that just about get any kind of news is good. Like just getting any kind of attention is kind of good for them. You know what I mean? Like just,
Yeah.
even
Any
if it-
publicity
this
is good
about-
publicity.
just hearing about them in the news.
Who wants to tell John that the hot
Right.
chicks that follow him aren't real?
Well, we might as well tell them now it's live on the air. They're not real, John. They're bots. Damn it, they're bots. But if this is true, if AEW or Tony Khan's paying for bots, then I think that is very lazy. But I'll kind of put this in the nothing burger category. I think it's almost a coincidence that this happened. But at the same time, if Tony, whoever's in charge of social media, is part of this, yeah, it just doesn't make them look good.
Yeah, it's the
my
social
opinion.
media management. Whoever did that, like, they're cutting
That's true.
corners.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. Maybe Tony doesn't even know that this person did it.
Because
That's
when
another-
I got botted, I didn't ask for them. I asked for somebody to help me run my social media page. And then
Yeah.
maybe it's the same shit. He's like, yo, help me get 10,000 more views. And then what they got out of that was, oh, you just want me to generate you bots. And it's like, no, that's
Yeah.
not what I said, motherfucker.
For sure. Hey, Wendy, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well.
All right, Wendy.
All right, so Jerry, we're gonna go to you next. Your thoughts on these bot allegations, my friend?
It's kind of out of my depth, so I don't really have an opinion.
All right, hey, now, my friend, let's go to you.
Right. well, this is 2026. Bots. It's not commonplace now. I mean, it's all over social media and on streaming platforms. Like, you'd be surprised at like how many people would, pay for bots, or who would, say have the organic followers or those that don't. I've always felt, I'm in the same boat as you, Brendan. If you bought like 300 followers, for example, that's so fake, and you were lazy. As someone who has been content creating 14 years, I can tell you all my stuff is organic. I never took an easy way out. I'd never do that. But
I see somebody called Netanyahu follows you. You want to explain that, Paladin?
Wait up. 1 second here. That's cannot cheat.
Why is the leader of Israel following you, Paladin?
let's not discuss the
Right. The NDA. We can't violate your NDA,
Yeah, we
right?
can't. We'll go to the next person. Let's skip him. All right, Chris, we'll go to you. Your thoughts on these bot allegations, so we can protect Paladin from the NDA here.
Yeah, of course. Though, like I would probably suspect the bots, though, that they probably bought out would probably be fake, though. Wouldn't be far from the truth, though. So.
Okay, I'm getting the next one ready. Okay, so as I'm getting the next one ready, Ross, since you've been on here a bit, are you aware of the Kaiser situation as I'm getting this next one ready?
I know that he got arrested. I kind of did, and I forgot all the details.
Okay,
I
so
just thought about Ric Flair.
right. Before I read this story here, so to catch you up, Kaiser got into an altercation with a neighbor, and as of now, there are two sides that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
One side story from the neighbor's end where she got on the elevator and Kaiser and his girlfriend were making out aggressively, made him uncomfortable, told him, well, do you mind? Have some damn manners. And that made Kaiser apparently get upset and attacked him when he got off the elevator. Then Kaiser's side of the story is where the guy told Kaiser's girlfriend, hey, can you do girl mind your damn manners or else I'm going to call ICE on that bitch.
Ooh.
So that's Kaiser's side of that story.
Ooh.
Okay, but now this has come out here. So could it not be true? Could it be made up to cover his ass? So ICE threat story came from Ludwig Kaiser's side, but couldn't be verified. So it basically started when Raj Giri from Wrestling Inc. reported the ICE side of the story. So after the story started to spread online, Michael Sean Sapp addressed the claims and explained that the account circulating publicly may have originated from Kaiser/WWE side, though he said he could not independently verify it with the involved parties. So the Raccoon had this to say. This is the story from Kaiser/WWE side. Someone messaged it to me today, but I couldn't get the parties to verify. Okay, so if that is the case, they're my friends. Why do they feel like they had to come up with this side of the story to protect Kaiser? So what is really going on? Like something doesn't meet the eye here. Like is Kaiser
See a little Alberto Del Rio-ish.
So yeah, Ross, let's go to your thoughts on now. We have these two sides of the story. Now we got a report from Fightful saying that Kaiser's side made it up. Do you think something else is going down we don't know yet?
Yeah, probably. It just kind of the whole thing kind of reminds me of something Alberto Del Rio would be mixed up in down there. And right after Ric Flair must have been right about him. I can't help but think that's ironic that right after Ric Flair was on Ariel Helwani and buried him, and then like not very much time later this happened. I know that don't have anything to do with each other, but I just think it's funny.
The timing of it, yeah, for sure.
But no, I don't really know. I mean, what else? I'd say there's something to it though. Well, I don't know why they would just make it.
Could it be? I forgot who one of us brought this up last night. Could it be under the influence when he was making up stuff or getting snap? Like could he be drunk or could he be on something and snap and attack the guy? Because
Yeah.
most stores have said the guy got marked up. Like he wasn't like fully fucked up or like that, but he got like marks and shit like that. But
Yeah.
who knows? Until we get more information, like what's true, what's not, what the one thing we know as well is he was barely in jail for a night and got $1,000 bond, which Ruby Window Gunther bailed him out of that bond, if that's true or not. And that was it. He didn't really have any consequences. All right, so Jerry, let's go to you now. Your thoughts on if this is true or not? Why are they coming up with a cover story and cannot be verified? What's really going down?
See, that's the mystery in itself. There's still a lot of variables. I mean, this Kaiser and this neighbor, have they always been at war with each other? I mean, is Kaiser using his fame thinking he can get away with shit? I mean, we haven't even seen any, elevator footage or nothing. So
we're not even pictures too. We have not even seen pictures.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder.
Very true. All right, Chris, your thoughts on these allegation story, could it be true or not from Kaiser's side?
Yeah, yeah, I could probably say that it's like could be true, like because obviously the like with Kaiser's like with Kaiser's neighbor, though, like obviously there are like reports of him like acting shitty to his girlfriend, which is kind of the reason he kind of attacked him, though. Although I could probably see it's kind of a little bit on the false side, though. For me, I'm kind of like a bit 50-50 because like this though I kind of find it really bizarre, though. So
yeah, I guess bizarre as the weeks go by. All right, Tommy, my friend, thoughts on could this be a work or are they covering up something?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're all adults here. All right, public display of affection. It's not the most respectful thing to do, but it's not the end of the world. I think this whole situation could have been avoided. I don't find Ludwig Kaiser to be the confrontational type. This is like his first controversy. Like this is something like Ross said, you'd most likely hear about Alberto Del Rio, or somebody like a 2009 Randy Orton, like this isn't like Ludwig's character as far as we've been told. This is his first time being in any kind of trouble, and we'll let the courts decide, let the courts seek justice, and karma is real. And I think either way, like if Ludwig's lying about this, he's gonna get his karma. If he's telling the truth, he'll be rewarded for being on the right side. And we got to see the video footage, otherwise it's just he said she said bullshit.
Very true. Absolutely true. All right, hey, my friend, your thoughts. Could this be a work? Why are they covering up? And how come the story cannot be verified? Oh, you gotta mute something, bud.
I muted him, my bad.
All right,
You're emailing Netanyahu. I had to mute you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, this story, as I probably like to say, like, it leaves a great deal to be desired. Like, what is really going on? We would have to see the elevator. We have to see the elevator footage.
Yep.
I think that's what's key. If we had gotten the elevator footage and we could have seen like what actually happened, I think it might give us all the answers that we might be looking for. As for what's going on right now, I think I might go with Jerry there. They could have been neighbors who have had issues and then it just boiled over. Or is it a work? I don't know. It doesn't seem very plausible. I'd be just like,
sell any tickets. I'm gonna fight my neighbor.
Yeah.
the elevator violence, as John says. And by the way, John has his solution to the problem. send Ty's girl to me. I'll make sure she's safe, and that I'll have a co-op gaming part while they sort this out. Yeah, totally gentleman-like. Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to the next one here. We're going to be going to MJF for the next two topics here. He has some comments that made the waves here. So we'll start with this here, my friends. So MJF claims AEW would die fast if he left for the WWE. So MJF isn't just brushing on talk about WWE or Hollywood. He's saying AEW would be in serious trouble without him. While speaking to the Hollywood Reporter, MJF was asked what would happen to AEW if he moved on full-time to Hollywood or jumped to WWE. MJF didn't hesitate, claiming the company would fall apart quickly without him. And I quote, "It dies. It dies probably a fast, not even slow, painful death." So he elaborated more on it, and I quote, "And that's okay. You know, I love AEW. I love everybody that works there. But like I said, I can't be in the position I'm in without having to pass the ball. But if they couldn't pass the ball back to me, Jesus Christ, God bless them. I'm the most important piece of the puzzle. As far as people wanting me to go to WWE, WWE fans want me to go to WWE because they know that I'm the biggest thing in wrestling, and they're desperate to have me on their programming." End quote. So Ross, I want to go to you here. Do you think, let's say hypothetically speaking, if MJF did leave AEW to go to WWE, do you think that's the end for them?
Absolutely not, because Tony Khan's loaded. He's got infinite money. MJF would mean their show might be worse, but I mean, Tony Khan's the man there. And actually, I take that quote in reverse. If MJF went to WWE, he would die because he would get his ball cut off if from what he's allowed to do. He'd be like a Dean Ambrose out there. And I mean, AEW can afford to lose anybody except Tony because the almighty dollar. But yeah, the show would be worse. But he's just playing his character here, which I like. You know, that's just what MJF would say, you know, in wrestling. And I appreciate that. So
Okay.
I'm not knocking him for saying it, even if it's not true, you know.
Well, okay, and my take, okay, what I get out of this is almost like an ECW 2000 situation. All they really had back there was Rob Van Dam. They didn't really have anybody to be at that top of the card there. So this is where I compare this situation to. This is where I tend to agree with MJF. In my opinion, if MJF, you know, either became a part-timer or he left to go to WWE, I feel like the main event scene would be, you know, dying. It would be dying because Tony Khan won't really have anybody that he can slide in that's built up enough to fill in those shoes. And that would hurt the show. It would hurt the main event scene. And the fans would catch up on it really quick. So I tend to agree with MJF's comments if he were to leave or go
One
part-time
other thing,
role.
I don't think anybody outside of wrestling has a clue who MJF is. I mean, like, I guess because they work with ESPN, they get kind of lucky. But like Seth Rollins will be on sports. Like I feel like general people come across the WWE guys on stuff on TV where they would at least probably have seen them before, like on a commercial or something. Like I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I don't know. I think he's the ultimate like bubble guy. Like you know, he's great within the bubble. We all think he's good. But like outside of that, I just don't know who knows this guy. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I think. Like I don't put him at outside of the bubble, like Roman Reigns and all those guys. Like he's way below them. Now, as far as his wrestling ability, talent, and all that, he might not be way below them. You know what I mean? But like in the pecking order of the earth, I don't know, so to speak. If he could somehow get out there, like I think people would like him, but I don't know. It's hard when you're not don't have that sports center. You go on there and game day with McAfee. You know, all that helps them so much.
True. Okay, Jerry, let's go to you, my friend. Thoughts on MJF's comments? Do you think if he left, that would hurt AEW?
Oh yeah, because I mean, think about it. Who did they have that could replace him? Really?
Darby Allen, bro.
No, not even close. I mean, maybe Hangman Page, maybe. I mean, yeah, they got Kenny, but Kenny is pretty damn old.
So say me? I'm ready to go.
And then they got the Young Bucks.
I think they need to go get a WWE legend. It's like I don't know if they could, but it's like a big guy, like Goldberg or somebody. Like even just for a short term thing. Like maybe he's like I just think they've never really. I know they've got Edge and like people like that. Like a splash, like maybe a bigger splash. I don't know who's even out there who's still in shape and could even do it. But like I think Goldberg. I haven't seen him in a long time. He maybe it's too late for that, but like I feel like he would make a splash at least short term if he appeared in maybe for a pay-per-view or something.
It would get people talking for sure.
Yeah,
Well, maybe after Brock's
Brock
done with
Lesnar pay him like 50 billion. Maybe Tony will
Yeah.
give him like $600 million. I mean, he would show up for that. I'm pretty sure.
oh, I would.
Man,
Or
that-
this
that
guy,
would
give Vince McMahon's son, the John McMahon. He'll help for sure.
be- for sure.
Yeah, that'd be something different.
If he would, absolutely. All right, Ada, my friend, thoughts on MJF's comments? Do you think if he left to go to WWE or part time, that would hurt the company?
Well, I was discussing this on my podcast yesterday, and to be honest, he is 100% correct. I mean, as you said, Brendan, it's a ECW 2000 situation. He's the only actual AEW homegrown star who's made it.
That's true.
Like he made it like he rose through the ranks. You know, he was with Cody Rhodes at one point, but he slowly built himself up. He slowly but surely became the AEW World Champion, and he slowly but surely was making his own brand, and he was protecting the brand. And he was one of those very few wrestlers that are very traditional, which is he'll stay in character. You know, one of those very rare few that are, because I do like traditionalism. I'm a big traditionalist. Like I could even discuss how, like when it comes to the world of theater, you know, because I've done drama for over 25 years, I can tell you if there was a production of Shakespeare going on, I would like for you to keep it within the Elizabethan era and don't put it in the modern era, because I would feel that's very disrespectful and it's not living up to the sort of traditional sort of period in which Shakespeare has, you know, glorified. So when it comes to MJF, if he left tomorrow for Hollywood, for example, or if he did leave for, you know, to go up north to Stanford, he'd be right. There's no one there to take it in AEW. What do you got? A skinny guy like Darby Allin get good night. The gay cowboy Hangman and Page, no thank you. Swerve Strickland, no, you will swerve into a wall. What, Orange Cassidy? Yeah, I think you're gonna need more than orange juice to get over, sir.
Speaking of Darby
The thing
Allin,
is, this is not even really a possible. Like, I don't think it's even possible for MJF to go to WWE because they would bury him there.
they
Because
would.
he's AEW homegrown.
I
He
think
would
they
be
would.
getting
Yeah, but at
beat
the
by
same,
everybody.
yeah, but I would say that yes, AEW is his home. He's a locker room
Not
leader there.
necessarily. They did it right by AJ Styles, and that was a big concern when AJ got there. They're like, oh, they're gonna nerf him, and then
Yeah, I think
did all
AJ's
right.
a little bit different though. He had like
Yeah,
more of a history.
Yeah, AJ Styles was different. I
Yeah,
think
he's way
That was,
different.
that was a different situation.
yeah, there's two different paths, two different stories. You know,
Yeah.
each wrestler has a different story. So
Yeah.
with MJF, I'm pretty sure if he was to say go to WWE, I'd say hold him up for money. I'd say he might do it. You know, because
He'd have to totally change his character. He can't talk like that on
no, obviously
WWE
not.
TV. Not even
But
close.
I don't think he'd choose WWE. I'd say maybe Hollywood because he's already started some movies,
Yeah,
and maybe he might look
That's
for
true.
other roles to do. So
Yeah.
that's a great avenue for him to, start making more money, get his face out there. Maybe he might draw people to AEW just because they see his face, they know who he is, and then we're like, oh, there's MJF on TV, he's wrestling.
Yeah, they might check it out for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It would hurt for sure.
MJF is all they really have. He's the only locker room leader there. He actually has some stroke, which is very rare to hear these days because WWE is a free for all. You don't
Have
have
Tony Khan buy him courtside seats to the NBA Finals in New York and put him in the front row and have the AEW World Title on his shoulder, and the announcers be like, "Oh, this is AEW World Champion MJF." Like that's how you got to get out there if you want people
Absolutely.
to really. I mean, it may look stupid to have him have the belt on there, but who cares? Like that's how. I mean, that is how you get out there into the public. In my opinion, I mean, doing something like, I mean, I would probably try that, or another sport or whatever. But to me, the movies, I don't know. He was in Happy Gilmore too. He was good in that.
Yeah. All right, Chris, let's get your thoughts on MJF's comments. Do you think if he left or went to a part-time role, would that hurt the company?
I think that would probably hurt the company because he's probably like the only draw they have. Though I just can't see like anybody else from there that's really a draw though. Like other than like stuff like that.
You're thinking, who do they have? Like I said, my opinion is an ECW 2000 situation with MJF. All right,
I
Steve
still
Thomas,
enjoy
man.
Jericho. I know he's old, but I'm just saying, I still enjoy Jericho.
All right, so I guess since Tom's not here, we'll go to the next one here. So speaking of MJF, we're going to the next
I'm right
one.
here.
Right back. Okay, there, Tommy. Your thoughts on the MJF? Do you think if he left WWE, so if he left for WWE or went part time, would that hurt the company?
Yeah, but I agree with Ross. This is like the heel answer where he's like, of course, any company that, doesn't have me is going to fail. That's what a heel would say. So I like the answer. I don't know if it's necessarily true because, Tony Khan could just buy another MJF tomorrow, Doesn't mean he'll be as good as the original because MJF is very good. And, I think he would do good in WWE. Like, I think you can give MJF a little bit and he can work with it. Like, the reason I compared him to Roman Reigns and I thought, there's a debate there about who's better is because Roman Reigns was given a lot. He was given opportunities to main event WrestleManias, to have World Heavyweight Championships. Obviously, Gums, what the fuck? My dog's pissing me off, bro. He's related to The Rock, who's on the board. The guy's a physical specimen, so that's just not fair. Like the dude's blessed. I mean, he made it work. He took all the tools he had and he ran with it. So Roman Reigns, like, he's where he should be. Versus MJF, it's like nobody expected him to be here, and that's why I think he's better. Is because you could take things away from MJF and he'd still be a good wrestler. But if you took things away from Roman Reigns, then he'd be like less. He wouldn't be Roman Reigns. Like if you take away the bloodline, he's not Roman Reigns. If you take away the microphone from him, he's just a brute. If you took away his strength, he's not a very good promo. But with MJF, it's like the dude could be hobbled on a wheelchair and he'd still cut a good promo.
Yeah.
And,
I'd say
and
the
like,
same with Roman and who'd you say, and Punk and Cody. Like all those guys started in WWE though. Like WWE could say, okay, CM Punk, Cody, they're in AEW, but we're gonna bring them back here where they belong.
Yeah.
But
they have $1 million behind him. They have millions of dollars behind him. And MJF, like, yeah, he gets that with Tony Khan, but he doesn't have the same advantages that a WWE guy might have.
For sure.
That's why I respect MJF because he's really more independent than Roman.
But
Roman
he gets to run his mouth though. He has a big advantage that he can say literally anything he wants out there. Roman can't say anything he wants out there.
Yeah.
He can't just start
No.
cussing.
That is true.
I mean
That is true. That's true. Like,
I
there's
mean,
things Roman Reigns.
PG-13 the crap out of him if he went to WWE. He'd sound like New Day out there talking. Like
Oh,
look
God,
at Dean
yeah.
Ambrose and John Moxley. It'd be
Yeah.
Well, all right. I did say we're gonna do a match about MJF, but since we're on the timeline here, I'm gonna go to this topic instead because we had a debate about this last night, and I know myself, Ross, disagree with Russo on this character, and we kind of agree with Jonathan Coachman here. Danhausen.
Talking about how's it?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to here. So Matt Hardy defends WWE's heavy use of Danhausen despite exposure concerns. So Danhausen's mainstream crossover push is getting bigger by the week, and now Matt Hardy is defending WWE's handling of the breakout star amid growing discussion about whether the company is using him too much. Well, speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Hardy was asked whether WWE is going to harm Danhausen now that he's appearing across WWE TV, ESPN, and other crossover platforms. Hardy said WWE should take advantage of the momentum while it is hot. So Matt had this to say: "You got to get it while it's hot, man. So yeah, it's okay, especially with the crossover stuff. That's exactly what you want a character like that to do, especially someone who is so gimmicky like Danhausen. And I'm super happy for him that he's succeeding so much. I mean, who knows how long his run is? But the most important thing is that they're not burning him out in the ring, forcing him to wrestle over and over. He's an attraction. He's a novelty, and you use him as such. Myself and Bray Wyatt, we were fighting to be used more like novelties and do stuff like Danhausen is doing now when we were the eater of the worlds. But Vince McMahon was like, you guys are both big stars. I need you on TV. Go wrestle, go wrestle, go wrestle. And honestly, they nailed Danhausen right now. The way he's become a big star and got everybody talking. His stock is rising. His equity is growing every single week, and they're doing the right thing. All right, so that is what Matt Hardy had to say. Okay, so now, my friends. Okay, so Ross, what we did last night on the Holy Soldiers, we did a debate. Because now it's 3 months in. Danhausen's been a company for 3 months. How's everyone feeling now? And what would we do differently to try to not make him go stale? Because that's what they Coach is right about. Coach has said that he's starting to get stale. So Ross, I want to start with you. Your thoughts on Matt Hardy's comments. How do you think they used him so far? And what would you do with Danhausen to avoid him going stale?
Matt, I agree with everything Matt Hardy said because I think that they missed that same boat with Boba Femi. I think after he was so hot after Mania that he should have won that Cody's belt on Raw the next. I mean, they should have just gone full speed because when it's hot, it can go away quick. So I agree with what Matt Hardy. I don't like him. I don't like watching his stuff that much, especially his matches. But if he's popular, I would do it till he's not popular. And if you want to get him off or give him a break or something, that's a perfect opportunity for somebody to do something heelish. Like if you want to make a big heel, somebody just beat the crap out of him where he's out for 4 months or something and. That's what that's how I would approach it. Who can I get heel heat with by destroying this guy?
By destroying Danhausen?
Yeah, what you think that would get heel heat?
If it's in his hometown, if they did it
is he a baby face or
yeah, he's a baby face.
Yeah.
Baby face, yeah, he's a baby face.
Maybe that wouldn't be good. I don't know. I'd have to think about it some more.
Okay, then let me ask you this: how do you feel like they're using him right now, 3 months in?
I can't say anything negative about it because I don't think I could have got him over.
That's fair. Okay, in my opinion, I brought this up last night at the Holy Soldiers. Okay, again, I want to make it clear to the people. I don't hate the guy personally. He seems like a nice guy, nice family man. I'm just talking about the television character, Danhausen, that is presented. In my opinion, not my cup of tea. But I'm not going to deny the guy's getting over. He's selling, a lot of merch. He's one of their top merch sellers. Kids liking him. He's starting to get good reactions. I would not take that away from him. That is not to be denied. But one thing Matt Hardy did say that I 100% agree with him on, they're not having wrestle every week. I believe Backlash, to my understanding, was his first match on a televised WWE event, to my understanding. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me in the chat there. But the idea I proposed last night is, okay, he goes around, you're cursed, you're cursed. Okay, what does that really mean? They haven't really adapted to that.
Bad things aren't happening.
So what I proposed last night, Ross, is make him the modern Papa Shango. Curse people get sick in the middle of the raid, or they fuck up and they can't do a move properly, or they just pass out. Make him like a modern Papa Shango that he curses people. So
Exactly. He can't run around cursing people and then nothing ever happens. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. The last thing I was saying, I'll turn to someone here. So 3 months in, I'm happy for the guy who's making money to support his family. Could they be using him better? Yes, in my opinion. But what they got him doing now is okay. But this is my group coach. He is slowly starting to get stale because she needs something, like a storyline to get people more interested.
Like the Fiend started to go downhill the more he wrestled.
That's true, because at that point, you're not acknowledging,
why
you're
would
just
the
one of the
Fiend
boys.
care about a belt? That's what I always thought. Like, why would this Funhouse guy want to be the WWE champion? And then you get him in the ring, and it's like the aura's gone.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. It's not. Tommy, let's go to you, my friend. So, same thing as last night. Your thoughts on Matt Hardy's questions, how you feel like they're using him, and what would you do to make him interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I said this on Paladin's show. He reminds me a lot about like the Hurricane. Like, I understand the Papa Shango comparison, but he's built more like the Hurricane because the guy's a featherweight and the guy's comedy relief. And I wasn't like, I'm not in general, the comedy gimmicks, they're not my cup of tea either, Brendan. I think they're cringe at times, but I understand there's a place for it, and if done correctly, it can get a laugh out of me. And then I'll give them a golf clap when they make me chuckle, But I was saying with the Hurricane, the reason he is remembered is because he worked with The Rock. And I think Danhausen needs to work and collaborate with either a Roman Reigns or a CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes, somebody who's a main eventer, a headline. He doesn't need a title. He does not need to challenge Roman for his belt. I just think he needs to fucking screw with Roman a little bit.
Yeah,
or someone else.
Curse him when these things start happening to Roman, and he starts getting like paranoid and stuff.
Yeah, and it's got to be Roman. It can't be like, it could be Cody Rhodes, but I feel like it just hits better with Roman because it would be like The Rock and Hurricane all over again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, because he can't wrestle Roman Reigns, that would be ridiculous. But he could like curse him, and like things start happening to Roman, and he's like, looking around like, what's going on? That could be pretty good. Maybe as a henchman or somebody that wrestles.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Chris, same as last night. So your thoughts on Matt Hardy's comments, how you feel like they're using Danhausen 3 months into the company, and what would you do with him to make him more interesting?
Yeah, I would agree though. With this comments though, because we obviously need like more character driven like stuff though, like as opposed to like with people and just going out and just wrestling for no reason at all though. Like it's
Oh, my bad. My mic was muted. All right, Jerry, I know you're one of the anti-Danhausen guys here, so same thing as last night. Thoughts on Matt Hardy's comments? Thoughts on how you're using him 3 months? And what would you do with him differently to keep him
pretty much like I said last night? If you really want to give him some storyline, put him in a tag team. I could see him and Joe Henry being a tag team and go after the Vision, take the tag team belts off of them, even just for a little while.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, you already got the feud developing because, Logan Paul's got a problem with Joe Henry, and I can see the perfect storyline. Housen's walking around in the backstage like he always does and literally runs right into Paul Heyman. Well, Heyman demands an apology, and Housen decides, you know what, I'll be respectful. I apologize. Well, according to Austin Theory, he don't think the apology is genuine, so he starts getting mouthy with him.
Oh,
See, and that could build it up. And then you flash forward. We'll say Henry's doing a little thing where, he's doing his fire Paul. That's amusing. And all of a sudden, he gets jumped by the Vision. Well, out comes Danhausen, saves the day. So then all of a sudden, here comes Adam Pearce. He's like, I just got a wonderful idea. Let's put these two tag teams together and let's make it for the belts. Imagine the pop. And then make it a good match. I'd say 12, 15 minutes tops. Because I've seen, Housen's wrestling at Backlash.
right.
And let them do like a double 5-knuckle shuffle. Because I've seen them both do it in honor of John Cena and get the win. And then like you could put the camera just briefly on Heyman and, he'll have that, shock look.
Well,
The only part of that made me cringe was the mention of Logan Paul, because I don't think there's anybody in that company that's being used worse than Logan Paul is right now. I think that this role that he is an absolute ridiculous and a waste of what he could bring to WWE with his podcast, his followers, and all that crap. And he's in this crappy tag team with a bad haircut. Like, they're totally wasting him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, I think he should be at the world title level by now. I mean, at least competing for it.
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure, absolutely. And before we go to you, I gotta come for John here. I like this idea. Jacob Fatu sells his soul to try to and get his help against Roman using ancient Samoan blood magic. Since he's a relative, he can give some blood to Danhausen to make a Roman voodoo doll. But I'm actually, I don't mind that. That'll be something. That'll be an interesting angle.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
nicely thought out. That's nice.
Yeah, I actually like that. Like, that's
It's a good idea. Like, for me, like, I would say like this though. I would say this like I think like Brendan though. Like, I don't hate the guy though, but I'm not a fan of his though. But I'm not a fan of his character though. But I understand he's like selling merch and stuff like that. So you could probably
your credit's due there.
yeah.
All right, Ada, my friend. So your thoughts on Matt Hardy's comments? How you feel like they're doing with him in 3 months in, and what would you do with him to avoid him going stale?
Okay, so I was talking about this in my podcast, and I agreed with everything Matt Hardy had to say. Like, he is an attraction. Back in the day, you had things like Papa Shango, Doink the Clown. You had maybe a Brooklyn Brawler. You had your silly things like Repo Man, or
You can even throw Undertaker in there, man.
yeah, he was an attraction at one point. Yeah, that's very true. But they were attractions. They were funny. They were good for kids and families. Danhausen is for families. Yeah, Danhausen's great with kids and families, and he really reaches out to them. And he's really gotten himself over in such a short period of time. Whereas in AEW, he didn't really get his chance. So we're already a few months in. He's settling in well. He's doing good. And again, it could get to a point where he could get stale. Yes, that is correct. So what you need to do is put him in a storyline. You could go down that Papa Shango route where he curses people, or some people could reach out to him to make like crazy potions or make them a special doll that might weaken their opponent. Things like that.
This right here, for example. I was thinking it would be a slow reveal like Fatu is seeing Piston in a mysterious area, or talk with Danhausen, then Roman starts having weird crap happening to him, like missed finishers and such.
Or he could like get very weak and he falls down, like he kind of falls asleep, or he goes into like a trance where he just falls down. There's stuff you could do there, or you could team him up with Joe Hendry. I think we discussed this in the Holy Soldiers podcast. Big shout out to that podcast. And you could have them team up and eventually bring them to SummerSlam where they could win the titles. It'd be an interesting pair. Joe Hendry would have something fresh, and then Danhausen could still keep his attraction going. Yeah, in terms of him being in the ring, you don't have to have him in the ring. He's just there to entertain. You know, if you want to have him, use him sparingly. Only use him every so often when you can. As for just keep doing him segments, maybe vignettes, keep doing that with him, and you're on the right track. So it's important that he has a storyline going forward and that he's not getting super stale. So that's what I have to say about Zidanhausen.
All right. On to the next one here. MJF blasts wrestlers for breaking character online. And the captured quote from him is, "It makes me want to vomit." All right. So let me throw that here. So MJF is doubling down on his belief that too many modern wrestlers destroy the illusion of professional wrestling the second they log on to social media. While speaking to Shock Wrestling, the former AEW World Champion blasted wrestlers who act one way on TV and then immediately become friendly, grateful, and out of character online afterwards. So MJF had this to say: "I knew I wanted to be me 100% of the time because I am me. So it was hard not to do. A lot of people like to use the word character. A lot of wrestling fans say kayfabe, even though they have no idea what it means. The fact of the matter is, I am not a character. I am not kayfabing it. I am MJF 24/7. So it's not like I have to put up an act. I just wake up, do my thing, go to sleep in a beautiful silk bed in my lovely mansion in Long Island. People are being pussies, Shaq, and I love to be quoted on that. And I love you to not believe it. Sincerely, I mean it. We live in a society filled with weak people who are afraid of offending others. That's not something I'm afraid of. When I offend you, you buy a ticket. When I offend you, the ratings go up. When I offend you, you have no choice but to watch me and hope that I lose against a guy like Darby Allin, which I won't. And you'll continue to watch me because I grab you by the balls and give you no choice otherwise. Now, when I see guys, and there are some I respect, but I see guys on TV and they go on Twitter like, "Oh my God, I just had such a great match with so-and-so. I had so much fun at work these last couple of weeks." It makes me want to vomit. It is disgusting. That's not why I got into the sport. I got into the sport to talk shit, to beat people up, and to make a whole lot of money doing it. I can't comprehend the idea. It's like they're putting a costume on. I can't relate to that. I want to watch a guy that I know is real on my TV screen. I don't want to watch a guy playing another guy. If I wanted to watch that, I turn on a movie or a TV show. That's not why I watch professional wrestling. End quote. So the question is, do you agree with MJF that wrestlers should protect their characters more? Or do you prefer the modern style where performers openly separate real life from TV storylines? Okay, so Jerry, we'll go to you, my friend.
See, listen to that. The way he makes it sounds like he's just being your atypical heel. He's, like I said, he said he's staying in character 24/7. I've seen some wrestlers do that. So that's my only opinion.
Hey, Chris, your thoughts on MJF's comments? Oh, Chris, not here. I'll go to the next one. Okay, Aiden, I'll go to you.
Chris
MJF
is muted.
Is he?
Yeah, he's muted, so I don't know if he was talking or not. He
Probably
might not
not
be
he.
here though.
Yeah, he chose to mute himself, so I can't unmute him.
Right. As for what MJF was saying, yeah, I think he's every right to be upset about wrestlers breaking character. You know, like back in the day, like wrestlers, what they used to do was take parts of their personality and just dial them to 11. You just look at all the wrestlers that we knew. You talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Randy Savage, Warrior, Hogan. The list is endless of guys who would take some part of their personality and they would dial that to 11. MJF understands that. And again, I like traditionalism. I like how he understands it. He gets it. And it's a very rare thing to say that, oh, a wrestler understands it. He understands it. Like
Yeah.
he's not a dummy.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to break that code. And like the Undertaker never wanted to break character throughout his whole career. He never like people tried to make him break, but he did such a good job of just like he had to hold his laughter back because he kind of had to stay in that mode of I am the Lord of Darkness, I'm the Phenom. I don't laugh at stupid stuff, you know, or you know, even when he was the American Badass and they're really trying to get him to break character, it's like no, it ain't going to work because he has to have his passion and mentality was so strong. He's like, I have to stay like this no matter what, no matter if someone's trying to make me laugh or someone's pulling a rib. I just got to stay like this. I got to stay like this. People, MJF is a rare diamond, you know, like characters, like wrestlers saying characters that are a dime a dozen these days. So hard to find one. And a lot of these wrestlers, they don't really. The frustrating part is a lot of wrestlers, they don't sort of tap into a part of their personality and they can dial it to 11. You look at Punk, could you imagine him just tapping into the asshole version of himself, dialing that to 11? He could become one of the greatest heels right now. He could piss people off. He could say, oh, I hate you fans. I actually hate you. And like he could tear up kids' signs and say, I don't like those flowers you sent me. Guess what I did with them? I burnt them because I hate you. You know, if he turned up that side of his personality to 11, there you go. Same with Cody Rhodes. He's an arrogant little shit. He could do that. Like, dial that up to 11. I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of the great managers, they took a part of their personality, dialed it to 11, like Paul Heyman has, you know, as much guff as we give him. People like Bobby Heenan, Matt South, Jimmy Hart, people like Paul Bearer. So many managers would have done the same thing. And it's just, wrestlers are afraid to tap into that form of themselves. You know, it's a real shame. Whereas MJF is not afraid to. He's dedicated, and we need more of that in wrestling. I think he is. He definitely is the catalyst, to my opinion. If he can do it, maybe others might think so can we, and it might be sort of like a ripple effect, or the dominoes beginning to fall. So.
Absolutely. Hey, Justin, welcome. How's it going? All
Right.
right.
Justin, what up?
Hey,
man?
Justin.
All right, just to catch you up, so MJF was doing it. Just to catch you up here, MJF was doing an interview saying it makes involvement where wrestlers, they quote unquote have a character, then they go out, then they come back, they go on Twitter, talk about, oh, I had a good match with so and so, I'm happy to be here. Basically not acting like the character anymore, be all happy-go-lucky, friendly. So do you agree that MJF's comment is saying that you should be protecting the character more, or should that not matter when they're not out in the building and they're just doing their daily lives?
When you're in the workplace, you have to be dedicated to your craft because it can keep the mystique of it going. Examples like say Undertaker and Paul Bearer, since they were like a great competitor manager duo, they lived the gimmick and all that. Another example would be Kane, and even Austin to an extent, and Hogan, and even Cena, and even recent years Roman Reigns when he's the tribal chief. Some of these other wrestlers should just follow suit. And MJF is right, though he's not my favorite heel, but I see where he's coming from, so on and so forth.
All right, Tommy, let's hear your comments on MJF's comments about how it makes him sick that people don't play their character anymore, or they break it as soon as they come backstage.
Yeah, so did Ross get out of here?
Yes, because he had to get going here.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think he's completely right as far as like, especially the modern talent nowadays. Like back then, if you were a relatively newcomer to the wrestling business, you know, there was some leeway. You know, guys, they'll tell you if you did something wrong. And so then that tradition of telling guys and keeping guys accountable to not break kayfabe was carried down. And I think MJF is trying to carry it down, but he's just kind of talking to a wall because all these professional wrestlers nowadays, they all want to be on social media. They all want to, like, you know, be bigger than their own characters. They all want to be The Rock. They all want to be Hollywood, you know. And not all of them. There are professional wrestlers who are just like, yo, I want to be a professional wrestler. But there
Yeah.
are some people who want to use WWE as a stepping stone to something else like Hollywood. And so a lot of the times they're just like, oh, by the way, I'm playing a character because I'm such a great actor. And it's like, shut the fuck up, you know, just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to watch an interview on, you know, Chris Van Vliet with every WWE saying, well, here's my real name and here's my social security number and here's my address. You know, it's like, dude, I don't care. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
shout out Chris Van Vliet. He's a good interviewer, you know? But, you know, sometimes it's just like, dude, I don't give a fuck what this guy's stats were in high school. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
true.
think we're not interested in your SAT scores or
Or your
you
college.
know your college football days. No.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, that's like, you know.
I mean, like if you wrote a book, like say you wrote a book for yourself, like an autobiography,
like
and
Mankind.
or if you wrote about your experiences in school, okay, that'd be a great read. Like, let's say, for example, The Miz writes a book and he publishes it, and then we all start reading, and he talks about his school life. And then he talks about how he dreamed to be a professional wrestler and how he, you know, took the steps. Okay, I don't mind if they write a book like Mick Foley did. Foley is good, or his other books.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you're learning about his life, whereas you don't want to hear about his life too much, you know, in wrestling. That's how I see it.
Okay. All right, on to the next one here. Adam Copeland, aka
Oh, wait.
we're gonna call him Edge, by the way. We're not calling him Adam Copeland.
Wait,
So Edge. Oh, right.
Yeah, you haven't got my my take on the.
Okay, my bad. Actually, we're gone when we came to you. Okay, so your thoughts on MJF's comments?
Yeah, I think on his comments though, I think that it's good that he's like protecting, like, you know, like with kayfabe though, like obviously though, like that's something that needs to be emphasized though, like within wrestling nowadays though, like
Yeah, for sure.
keeping character and like stuff and all that.
And I got respect for him doing that too. As well as
Yeah.
Sami Zayn says, you know, it's nice to see there's some traditionalists still alive and well out there.
I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, same here if I was a heel. All right, on to the next one here. So Adam Copeland, aka Edge, we're just gonna call him Edge. Edge calls AEW move a no-brainer after explaining WWE exit. And here to the stage. All right. So Adam Edge spent the majority of his wrestling career connected to WWE, but leaving for AEW became an easy decision once he looked at the people and matchups waiting for him on the other side. During a conversation with Clutch Points ahead of AEW Double or Nothing, Edge explained why joining AEW in 2023 made sense for him after his final WWE run came to an end. Christian Cage was a major part of that decision, along with two other close friends already working for Tony Khan's company. Edge and Christian have a friendship that started long before either man became a wrestling star. After building their careers together as a tag team and later going their separate ways as single performers, AEW gave them a chance to share the ring again during the final stretch of their careers. According to Edge, hearing how much his closest friends were enjoying their time in AEW made the decision to join the company simple. So Edge had this to say. My three best friends in the industry work there, and they all say they're having an absolute blast. Sign me up. It was a no-brainer. I kind of worked with everyone that was to work in WWE that I wanted to. Obviously, there are still some I didn't work with, but I looked at AEW, and the most glaring one I never wrestled was Samoa Joe. That's crazy. Edge also brought up Heyman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland while discussing the new opponents available to him in AEW. Outside of familiar names including Christian, Chris Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, and Billy Gunn, nearly the entire roster represented a fresh matchup for the veteran star. So, I think Edge leaving to go to AEW was a no-brainer. So let's go with Jerry first on this.
Oh, I think he made a wise decision. I mean, I watched the last part of his career in WWE. He was not happy, and I wasn't happy for him either. And when he got that fresh start in AEW, I mean, it was a wise move. I mean, especially look at him now, tag team champ with his old buddy Christian. And then maybe once that's through, I think he still has it in the tank to make a shot at MJF. And let's put the big belt on him, just for a little while, see how he does. That way he can say, hey, I've been a champ in 2 big divisions. Not too many people can say that.
You're mute there, Brendan.
God damn it,
You're
sorry.
mute.
Okay, all right. God damn it. All right, Tommy, your thoughts on Edge calling AEW move a no-brainer after WWE exit?
Yeah. Shout out the Holy Soldiers podcast. I'm trying to stay consistent. Edge came back red hot. The Royal Rumble return on this day. Everybody was singing his song, and it was great. It was like, oh my God, he's returned. The prodigal son. Everybody, the fucking everybody's favorite son. For a lack of better terms, but WWE and pro wrestling, it's all about making money. And with Edge, they did not use him correctly. They made him the leader of the Judgment Day. They made him the leader of a faction, and he should have remained a single star. And in AEW, I understand now. It's like, okay, he's a lot older. He's like 10 years older since when he returned, and so yeah, he probably should be in like 3-man tag teams, and being now a tag team champion with Christian is good for him, and he gets to make money, continue his legacy. And so obviously it's a no-brainer, and I respect him for doing it, because a lot of guys are afraid to go outside the WWE bubble to continue their legacy, and he took a risk on himself, and it's been paying off. So good for him. That shit in WWE with Judgment Day was a whack, and I think this is a lot better.
All right. My take, and I'll try to stay consistent, as I said last night. As a fan, part of me wishes he would finish in the WWE because of his legacy and his legendary career there. But at the same time, I don't blame him leaving WWE. Like him and Triple H, there's rumors and stories throughout the years. They never got along. Bruce Pritchard's podcast, they talked about when Edge was trying to get a singles push in 2004, Triple H was one of the few people that didn't like it and wasn't a fan of it. It was trying to not really help him out. Edge came back, got that big pop at the Rumble. He had a program Randy Orton did. He was given a faction. Like, Edge was liking the creative he was given. Then slowly but surely, he just was starting to feel devalued. And this is where they had to go by. They had a big name in WWE's past, coming back from a neck injury, he's coming out of retirement. Holy shit, he got somebody he could immediately put in the main event or put in the program with somebody. They were given a gold mine during a down period of the company, pre-COVID and during COVID and after COVID. And, he's got Jericho there. Everyone knows he's good friends with Jericho. Christian's there, Taz. He's buddies with. He's got a lot of people, Don Callis, another fellow Canadian there. So he's got people that he knows for many years, and he figured, well, I'm not happy here. They let my contract roll. I'm getting all the good money, less dates. Okay, sure, why not? And at the end of the day, if he's happy and his wife is happy, must talk to them. Fantastic. And at the end of the day, wish him nothing but the success for him. However, an argument can be made. He could be used better. In my opinion, he could be used better in AEW. But if I can compare what they're doing with him now to what Triple H was using him, yeah, maybe an argument can be made Tony Khan's doing it a little bit better. An argument could be made for that. But hey, if Edge is happy, then that's what it's about, man. So Justin, let's go to you then. Thoughts on Edge calling WWE exit a no-brainer. So what you got?
Well, in a way, right. Someone who was in a the 2010 summer, I marked up. Right? This was like
Yo, you're cutting out, brother.
oh can you
Yeah,
guys hear-
big time.
Yeah, you're kind of pretty bad there.
you guys hear me now?
Try
Yep.
again.
Well, I was saying it's a no-brainer. I agree with him. Someone who's been to the 2010
What? Can't you get?
Started selling Chris now.
It might help if you just like found somewhere to sit.
Here, find somewhere, Justin. I'll come back to you. Then we can find an area. Okay, so Jerry, let's go to you.
You already did.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I gotta start. All right. We're live. Okay, no, Tommy did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ada, go ahead. We're live. No, damn it. I'm doing anything
We need a
terrible.
close.
I'm trying.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. Yeah, Edge is in a happier place. I mean, look at all that he's with. He's got Christian, Chris Jericho, Don Callis. He's got so many others that Taz is there with him, and they were up and down the road together back in the day. Yeah. They were very tight, very close. I mean, Edge and Christian were good friends before they even got into wrestling. So they had great chemistry in the ring together as tag team or as single competitors. And Edge made the best decision by going to AEW. I'm pretty sure Tony Khan gave him a good contract, gave him that good schedule. And, it's all good for, say, his family, his kids, his wife. So I'm pretty sure he's happy out, and that's fine. If we were to, say, drop the tag team titles, I would love to see him go against MJF. Definitely. Yeah. You could have kind of best of 3 where he defeats MJF first. MJF gets the belt back, and then the last match, MJF is victorious. So there is something there that you can do with Edge. So, and he is, it's like Triple H and himself, they never got along. Again, Triple H, this is the problem Triple H has had. He hates talented people. He hates people that can do it on their own. Edge did it on his own. He didn't have the corporate machine behind him. I mean, the Rated R Superstar was probably his, birth child. He created himself. And you saw the results of it. That image, that gimmick that he created took off like a rocket ship. Look at him, Money in the Bank, cashes it in, becomes WWE champion, something he thought he'd never do in his entire career. He thought he was mid-card for life, but he wasn't. And he proved us all wrong here. He proved me wrong back in the day. I didn't think he'd do it, but he did.
Yeah.
He was just able to do it. And Triple H, he was fuming. And I'd say also Triple H also holds this against him when Rated RKO did that parody of him and DX 2006. I remember that. He's held that grudge ever since that, because again, Triple H is a vindictive asshole. He can't take a joke. He can't take someone pulling a rib at him. Oh yeah, he can do it when he's taking the piss out of the nation. Oh yeah, when he's doing that, no problem.
Not about himself though. That's what
yeah. Oh yeah, when he's doing his his father-in-law, no problem. I'm like, but you can't laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You can't laugh at you're a sad man. And I'm like,
Agreed.
Edge, just do not go back there. I would go. I might consider it if he was gone, but Edge made the right move. He's happy out,
Yeah.
and it's good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, that I agree though. Like he's getting like paid, not to mention like really big.
All right, Chris, we'll go to you.
Yeah, like I think with Edge though, I think that it was like the best decision that he made to AEW. Like the payroll is like really good over there though. Like he has his friends though that's over there. And yeah, though, like the way that things are going though, like it's pretty much better than it is in WWE though. Like which his last run though, like towards the end though, like it's gone stale though. Like since like with Triple H though, that he like devalued him though. So
For sure. Hey, Waleed's in the house here. How's it going, guys? Hey, Waleed, good to hear from you, man. Hopefully all is well. We're doing good.
Oh,
yeah,
Good friend of ours, good fellow member of
Glad.
the TWRP community, for
yeah.
sure.
yeah, and he has a channel though, like so like for
Go
those of
check
you
it
guys
out,
who
Lord
don't,
Waleed 31 on YouTube.
yeah,
Check it out.
mhm.
Hey, Justin, now let's get back to you here. We'll try you again here.
Can anyone
Go
hear
ahead.
me again? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, way
What?
better on my end. Way better.
Okay. Oh yeah. So about Edge, well, in a way, he's right since he's a veteran and intelligent. And I was just saying, as someone who was in attendance of the 2010 SummerSlam, I remember marking out in person when Edge speared Ryback to eliminate it from that. And yeah, I was fortunate enough to see Edge. Yeah, towards the end of his first WWE run, I do remember the neck injury, which ended his career for the time being.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't notice, but like the freaking dirt sheets pretty much spoiled his return at the Rumble months prior. You know, in case you guys have forgotten, I think it was Meltzer and such.
I hate that goblin.
Oh, wait till we get some main event. Don't worry. I
Yeah.
got something for him.
And it was just Edge is with a lot of people that he's grown up with in AEW, and his last WWE run, it was a mixed bag. Yeah, he led a faction, which pretty much is basically him leading the Ministry. A lot of people don't remember, but Edge and Christian were in the Ministry of Darkness when it was led by Undertaker and Paul Bearer. And when I think of Judgment Day by Edge, I just call it the Ministry. And it could have gone somewhere, but due to like creative changes, it went flat. And I didn't get why he was given the Intercontinental title for his final match against Sheamus, like the Canadian Intercontinental title. He like deserved more, and hopefully Tony Khan gives him like the proper respect that he deserves. Now that he and Christian are tag team champions again.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Good for them. I did not know that.
Yep.
I will say though, he did a good send off for Sting. I think he did the same for Edge.
Sting's my favorite
Oh.
WCW competitor.
Yeah, they totally kind of started to do better with Legends, all that shit for sure. And now this next one. Okay. This here
Anyway,
was-
guys, I may have to call it. Yeah, I had to like go. Thanks for today. Appreciate it.
Give us your plugs, Justin.
of
before
course,
you go.
man.
Give us your plugs. Oh, he's already got it. Good.
Here, guys.
Give us your plugs. Your plugs, man. Give us your plugs.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it for him. JT Prime 08 on X. You can find him on under that same name, JT Prime 08 on Instagram. There, I'll do that. Okay, now this next one, this one give all of us a migraine last night. Former WCW wrestler, former WWE wrestler Mark Jindrak says WWE stars complaining about WrestleMania weekend fan incidents should be grateful. The fact that I know Ada read this last night. Basically, my reaction is this. That sums me up right now. I'm about to rate this shit. That's what you have to say. Okay, so
And this motherfucker's been irrelevant since like the fucking 2000s. Okay, you are a bum. Who cares what you think? You have been living under a rock, dude. Okay,
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this right now, dude. You've been living under a rock.
Yes,
Okay,
the
this is
same.
not.
Yeah.
This is not frickin'. This ain't 2003, 04, 05, where the casual fan base was cool. Okay, they were cool. This is 2026 where they're fucking insane. They're following you into a bathroom, Mark. A bathroom. And literally trying to harass you in front of your own wife. And
Yeah.
like, as much as, and like CM Punk did the right thing. He had the right to get rid of you. And like, And like Damien Priest had to have a female superstar. Get out of there. And like Mark, you do not live in the real world. You don't. Seriously.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I mean, if you decide to come back to wrestling, which you won't, you'd find out all about it if people noticed you.
Okay, so I'm reading the article. I'm just gave Adas and just gave us thoughts. She basically ended.
I have to. I have to get out of my system. I hate him.
Oh my god! Okay, well, Valtteri, keep in mind, our fellow viewers, we were very vocal about the lack of security during WrestleMania weekend. We were all vocal about it. So this is what Mark has to say about the backlash you got. So while speaking on his YouTube channel, Jindrak addressed the recent complaints from wrestlers about fans crossing boundaries at hotels, airports, and other shared spaces during WrestleMania weekend. While several WWE names were frustrated by the lack of security, Jindrak said he does not see the situation as a major issue. I hate that. We're live, but I gotta read this shit. All right, here we go. All right, Mark had this to say. To be honest, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I know a lot of wrestlers are mad about it, and they've been complaining a lot about it. I just don't see it being a huge deal. I think it's a good sign if the fans are crazy. If the fans are all over you, if they're dying to get a photo, if they're breaking the rules to try to get a photo, sometimes it's not such a bad thing. Before the days of social media and telephones and everything, that kind of was your way of determining, hey, am I hitting with the fans? Am I getting over the fans? Are the fans related to me? I know I fucked up that word. If they're acting crazy and out of character to try to get a photo or even get a word or two in with you, it's something you should be proud of. It should be something that you should hang your head on and say, hey, I'm doing my job in the ring because I'm creating emotion outside of the ring. Then here he talks about Punk knocking the fans' phone when he was harassing Bailey and AJ. CM Punk, the fact that he's got this whole fan base back, I don't know. I feel like he should have just a little bit, have more patience now. That's his wife as well. And Bailey is obviously a girl as well. So he was probably showing a little chivalry, but I don't know. I just don't know if it was needed. The whole Orton incident, man, I was hanging out with him 03, 04, 05. It's the same thing. If one person's not going to be bullied by fans, that's Randy Orton. So I kind of laughed that one off. For every wrestler that complains, I feel stupid reading this, like a superstar that complains about all the emotion that they're causing these fans to have, I feel like there's 25 to 30 superstars that wish they had a reason to slap a phone away. I don't think the fans are too aggressive. Yeah, they cross the line sometimes. Gee, but I think we're big professionals. Oh, God. We should be able to handle it. If you're receiving that kind of emotion from the fans, be happy, be glad, because there's 35 to 40 wrestlers that wish they had that. Okay, the one part he's right about it, they are supposed to be professionals, they're supposed to handle it, but okay. Oh my God. I don't know where to start with this buffoon. I really don't. Okay, before I lose more IQ, yes, Swelly, we're doing well. We're all having a good time. We're all having a good night. Same thoughts back to you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing good, my friend. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, I have a confession to make here. So, hypothetically, let's say if any of us are on the road, or for JCW, or for any other wrestling company, or we're just, mind our own business, wherever to take us. Yes, I will feel proud if I have a Mark following me as I got my dick in my hand next to a urinal and the guy's trying to get up in my business. I will be proud if I'm taking a nice hefty shit and have a Mark trying to get in the bathroom stall with me. I will be proud if I have let's say I had a son for this situation. I would be proud if I have my kid with me and a retard is trying to bug me. And after I declined this guy respectfully multiple times. Yeah. Yes, Marjorie. I would be proud of being harassed. Yes, I would be proud if I had a psycho stalker trying to, get in my wife's face with the phone. Yes. Mark, you're an idiot. You're only saying that because, number one, you wish you had that attention, and number two, you're saying that because you have not experienced it. If you're in that situation, getting harassed in the bathroom, getting bombed, you would not be saying this shit. So put the meth pipe down, put the booze down, rethink next time before you type. That's all I gotta say. So Jerry, let's go to you. Well,
Yeah. I mean, in the word stupid, his face comes up in the dictionary.
Ooh.
I mean, I can see to an extent, a fan comes up to you, asks for an autograph. If you got the time, sign it. If you don't, try to be respectful, try to be polite. I get that.
Yeah.
But if the fans start getting rowdy, it's either you end up busting someone's skull or security does it for you.
Mm.
So it's just that damn simple.
Yep, I get think like that too. John, hello, good to see you, my friend. And same as last night, we're talking about Mark Jindrak saying WWE wrestlers now were complaining about the lack of security during WrestleMania weekend should be thankful that they're getting that kind of interaction with fans. But let's get your take on it.
It's two separate issues because you can have crazy fans. I think, quite frankly, you're going to have crazy fans. That is a reality of the internet age, and everybody, be it good or bad, they want to get their little moment in the sunshine. And if it's for doing something horrendous, like coming up to you at a bathroom, not a big percentage, but out of 100,000 people that are at some, a WrestleMania or something, there's probably going to be a few of those crazies, and you got to deal with them. And yeah, absolutely, you should. You got to beef up the security. Quite frankly, though, it can happen off the job as well, given the social media age. People know where people live and shit like that, or where they frequent. Somebody takes a picture. Oh, hey, Tiffany Stratton at this restaurant or whatever, and it's like, so you got to kind of be on your guard all the time. And I know there's NFL players from a while ago that have had personal security around them basically at all times. Twitch streamers, it happened, it actually happened at TwitchCon that the one was recently assaulted. So, any sort of celebrity is going to bring the crazies in this day and age. So you got to be prepared for that. Yeah, they should not be thankful for it. That's a stupid thing to say, because it's like, that is an unfortunate reality to deal with. It's not something that like, oh, yay, somebody came up to me and like hugged me without permission, or like, who knows what the fuck could happen. So it's like, no, don't say that they should be thankful. Say that they could perhaps be more careful. That would be the more correct thing. Or say that WWE should, be more careful with them and help protect them more.
Agreed, my friend. All right, Chris, your thoughts, my friend, on Mark Jindrak saying that the wrestlers should be thankful for that kind of interaction.
What you're talking about, like the Brock Lesnar thing?
No, the Mark Jindrak where he was saying the wrestler. No, we're talking about the lack of security during WrestleMania weekend, and maybe wrestlers were complaining about it in the incidents. Mark Jindrak was saying that they should be thankful that they were getting that kind of attention by fans.
Yeah, because I think the whole Vegas thing. Yeah, I think that the fans are kind of a bit chaotic, though, in some of the things. So yeah, things are kind of getting out of control, though. So
I don't know. And the guy's rightful. I'm not. I'm gonna save my energy for the next stupid headline. I'm getting ready here. All right.
yeah.
Tommy, your thoughts on Mark Jindrak's "You should be thankful" comment there, as it's good as Sharon.
Yo, my bad, bro. I was talking to my homie.
Okay.
752.
It's an interesting thought, Tommy, but what's it in reference?
We'll take it.
Wait,
you
I
said
wasn't fucking ready, bro. What the fuck?
No, I was joking because you said
Yeah,
752.
get your shit together, man.
All right, Tommy, to catch you up, we're talking about from last night. Mark Jindrak was saying that the wrestlers that were complaining about the security and the fan interaction during WrestleMania weekend, they should be thankful.
Yeah.
For the interaction.
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Wale!
What's up? How's it going? I hope
Wale.
welcome to the show. It's been a while, my friend. Talking since December.
Sorry I've interrupted.
No, you're good, bro.
So go ahead, Tommy. The Waleed, I'll go to you next.
Yeah, I mean, I never heard of Mark Jindrak. You know, he's just another dirt sheet writer trying to get his name out there, trying to have a hot take like, oh, yeah, you all should be grateful for being harassed and, you know, getting a finger in your butt, you know.
Tommy, that was you, not.
Oh,
not
no. This
Oh,
happens to Jey
the secret's
Uso.
revealed.
Not everybody does that at the urinal, bro. Like,
No, Jey, you know, fuck you guys, man. Whatever, bro.
Tommy's like, I did all the charities for all the kids. You guys can stick it.
Yeah, here's kind of the Hogan promo. Okay, so Waleed, to catch you up on the topic here. So Mark Jindrak was talking about how many of the WWE wrestlers during WrestleMania weekend were complaining about the lack of security and the bad interactions they had, fans falling into the bathroom, all this stuff, and AJ getting harassed, Bailey. Mark Jindrak just summing up what he's saying is saying that the wrestlers today should be grateful that they get that kind of attention. I think he's an idiot because he's not in that situation getting mobbed by crazy marks.
Yeah,
So let's
I agree
take-
with you. But speaking of Mark Jindrak, wasn't he some sort of involved with the Team Angle thing from 2000?
He was, yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
It was Luther Reigns, Kurt
Luther
Angle,
Reigns,
and Mark
yeah, thank
Jindrak.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and he was
Thank you,
WCW in the dying days and WWE as well, the Raw brand in 2004.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
'cause that
he's
name really
irrelevant.
sounded familiar. When you mentioned him, it sounded familiar.
But what do you think? Do they wrestlers that get mobbed and fall into the bathroom, all that good stuff? And do they should be grateful, or is Mark Jindrak talking out of his ass?
He is a bit talking out of his ass, but it's been, I'll say it to be completely honest. You're going to have some stalkers and marks, no matter how much of a celebrity you are, but you got to handle it like a pro. And those should have a security team.
Agreed.
Mm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wally.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm getting the next topic ready. Go ahead if you want to keep elaborating.
And I think about those sissies these days, now that they're talking, oh, we don't want this attention, and why draw it to yourselves in the first place? How come you have guys like Lesnar, Cena, and all being pros with their fans?
Yeah, like recently, Waleed, Brock Lesnar did his first meet and greet, and the queue for people to see him was huge, but he was so good with them, and they love Brock Lesnar. They had such great respect for him.
It's
Or
little separate
Lesnar.
things like this guy was talking about, like, oh, they're a little bit pushy to get a photo or something. Like that's not like that's overly enthusiastic. But then there's the creepy shit, and it's like that's what like you got to distinguish. If you're saying like they should be thankful for this attention, it's like, well, okay, getting me to be in the bathroom is a little bit different than like maybe like coming up to me in public and being like, hey, I
Yeah.
want a photo, bro.
Oh,
Like,
sure, they want to see you urinating.
yeah,
Real
it's like,
That's pretty creepy.
gotta have some distinguishing here.
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta
Boundaries.
love it. Okay, now this next topic. The best way to describe this next one it'll be this. That'll be the best way to describe this. Oh boy. WWE nearly revived the NWO with
Oh no, not this.
unexpected-
No.
I gotta read this, Ada.
We're live.
I gotta read it.
We're
Okay.
live.
WWE nearly revived the NWO with unexpected lineup during the Thunderdome era. I hate life sometimes, I really do. Okay, go.
Right, I'm playing a song right now because I just can't listen.
I see Paladin bopping out.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna play a funny song right now.
So I'm
Just
gonna
get me up.
I'm just gonna sum this up here so we're not on there for too long. 'Cause I do like my life. You know, I'm a proud uncle. You know, I got things going on in my life. This shit hurts my head. So former WWE writer Chris Dunn, just to sum it up here, during the COVID Thunderdome era, there were talks about bringing the NWO back to the WWE. However, there are 4 guys that they had picked that were going to be in this group. It was going to be Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Lars Sullivan.
You mean Lars
And-
Suck of a Man?
Yeah, Lars Sucker for Men, and they were going to have an original NWO member, so the fifth guy, to be a mouthpiece, but they could not get the member, so they just didn't end up doing it. Okay, so I'll go first on this one. All right, I said this last night. In my opinion, the idea of bringing the NWO back is not a bad idea. On paper, it's not. But those 4 names I just named you, wrong choices, man. Come on. Okay. I'm going to bring up these 4 names that, in my opinion, from last night's show, we talked about this, that would have been better picks. So we're talking about 2020, 2021. I would have JBL be the commentator mouthpiece for the NWO. I think Seth Rollins be a good pick. Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker. So again, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and JBL. In my opinion, those would be 4 good guys in modern NWO in 2020, 2021. And you get the Bischoff, Hogan, Hall, or Nash, whoever you can get to be the leader mouthpiece. I think that is better than what they're trying to do at the time. Because what they're trying to do, well, this. Just no. Okay, Waleed, let's go to you. Your thoughts on the proposed NWO coming back with those 4 guys.
I wouldn't have gone with those 4 guys. I would have gone with a similar choice as yours, to be completely honest, because all 4 of the guys that were mentioned don't have the talent to put off the NWO type of work. I would
Then who
have
would you
gone
go with?
Similar choices as yours, as like a JBL and the choices that you picked. I would have gone with similar choices.
So yeah, those 4 are a hell of a lot better than jeez. Okay, before I have an aneurysm, Jerry. Yeah, your thoughts on this pitched idea? Not only bring the NWO back, but Sullivan, Nakamura, Sheamus. Sorry, Suckerman, Nakamura, Sheamus, and Cesaro.
We here on the Irish Whips and Armjags podcast do not encourage self-harm.
That wasn't shooting my. I'm shooting the dumbass
Now
that come up
Tommy's
with
got
this
a
idea.
Tommy's got to splice in the stinking suicide hotline now to cover our asses. Thanks a lot, Jerry.
That's what I can do.
I wasn't aiming at myself.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't endorse
Yeah.
murder either. But
Right.
No, I didn't say it had to be murder. Just kneecap some
target
dumbass.
practice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just kneecap some dumbass. Because I mean, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, because when you look at the NWO, you think of these guys, or at least
Yeah.
most people would think of the
Now-
4th for 6.
Now, if I was going to choose WWE wrestlers to do it, yeah, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, and for muscle, you know, a much bigger wrestler, if he was in his prime, The Big Show.
Yeah, because he was the first defector to join. He was the
Yeah.
first one, and he's got a lot of history in the NWO.
And
maybe
just
people
that
do
small
associate-
number. See, that's the rule. Don't add 25 members and a 30-member roster, you know. Just keep it about 5 or 6. Perfect.
True. All right, Cheyenne. See, welcome to the show here. Just to catch you up on the topic, in 2020 and 2021, during the COVID era, former WWE writer Chris Dunn was talking about they were having conversations of bringing the NWO back to the WWE, but they were going to have one of the original members be the mouthpiece, and in the group was going to be Sheamus, Cesaro, Nakamura, and Lars Sullivan. Oh, she left. Okay, so in that case, okay, Aina, we'll go to you. Your thoughts on this lovely pitched idea they were going to do?
Oh, God. So when the NWO had first formed at Bash at the Beach in 1996, we all wanted to know who the third man was. You know, for those who were watching WCW, everybody's want to know. It was one of the biggest stars in the world of wrestling, Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
He said, you know, who knows these 2 better than me? And you had 3 of the biggest stars taking off with the NWO. And eventually, you know, X-Pac came in, The Big Show came in, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Sting did for a brief period because, you know, everyone thought he
The
was with
Wolfpack.
them. Yeah, the Wolfpack. Then you had the likes of Ted DiBiase, Buff Bagwell, Scott Steiner. You had some big time players in the NWO. Big time players. Conan as well, you know. Can't take anything away from him.
Kurt Hennig,
And-
Savage, Luger.
Yeah. Luger, it's all the package.
Hey man,
You know, yeah,
let's see, Beefcake was in there.
Bret Hart.
yeah.
Yeah, Bret Hart.
Jeff Jarrett as well.
Yeah.
NWO 2000, yeah, Jeff Jarrett.
Ooh.
As you can see, that was one of the great lineups of one of the greatest factions of all time. I'm just looking at these guys. I'm like, Sheamus is just there. You're okay. You've done our country proud, but you're not that great. Okay, stop. Get off your high horse. Cesaro is just bland. Okay, you could give him you have to give him something. If you don't give him something, Cesaro's nothing. He's just a blind guy on the mic. You need good mic talkers in a faction, right?
Yep.
Good mic talkers are key. Nakamura, it looks like he's about to have a spasm every 5 minutes. Look at my kid moves. I'm going to do this for the next 5 minutes.
The rest of us would never be so racist.
Tommy
about
has
it.
a short top. Tommy has a short.
And like, who wants to see that? Who in their right mind? Who was the last member there, Brendan? Refresh my memory.
So Cesaro, Nakamura, Sheamus, and Lars Sullivan.
Okay, Lars Sullivan, I could have truck with it. I could. I think what you'd need to do is just do a little bit of repackaging. You know, just do little tweaks. Now, if you were talking about a modern day NWO, this is who I would pick. Definitely Braun Breaker because his uncle had history, Scott Steiner, so makes sense. I would also put in Drew McIntyre, definitely. If I was looking for a third man, Logan Paul, definitely, because these guys have star. I'm just going with the guys of star power, because that's what you need to choose for a faction. If I was to go for like big time muscle, Omos, he'd be perfect. He's like the modern day Giant.
Oh, I never
If you-
thought of him.
Yeah, that I actually agree. I really agree with that.
He would be like their Kevin Nash. He'd be like their Giant that they could have. If I was to choose mouthpiece, I would think JBL or Eric Bischoff because he was like the figurehead of the NWO at one stage. Who else would I take into consideration for a mouthpiece? I think those are really the only two that I can think of. If I was to sit down with myself and just kind of write it more out and then choose a good mouthpiece, I'd say JBL would be the guy. But as you can see from those picks that I have, you could take those guys seriously.
I like it.
Could you imagine, Omos in an NWO shirt, one that just about fits him, and he's just standing there looking down at you. He might have like cool shades on, like Baby Hogan. He might have the cool shades, and the others are doing their thing. It's money. It's money because these guys could just. I could see them running roughshod over everyone. They could crush everybody. Like you could have, like Braun Breaker be the guy that holds, the belt, like say the WWE title or World Heavyweight title. Then you could say give maybe Omos and Drew McIntyre tag titles, or you could just do Logan Paul and Omos, and you could give Drew McIntyre the WWE title. They'd have start getting the gold. JBL mouthpiece, and eventually, if you wanted to start to add members to, fresh faces, if I was to pick, fresh faces. Now, I'm just trying to go through the roster as best I can here because I don't know them all. So let me see. No, not him. No. No.
Well, Biggie like from New Day. This pretty negative.
If Biggie was still able, yeah, I throw him in. Like he says, he could do a work shoot on how the New Day was the biggest mistake of his career, and how he said it was a joke.
Actually, he could be the mouthpiece.
He could. Yeah, that's
he-
another idea. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
He
Since
could be the
can't wrestle.
DiBiase. Yeah, he could be
Yeah.
DiBiase figure would just be the main talker, and Bischoff could be the number one. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Let's go next. Oh, good.
Oh no, we need a female member because they had Miss Elizabeth.
You
if I
either.
were- okay, so I'm really
I have
trying to
two.
think here.
I have two. Charlotte, because you can bring Ric Flair back, because Ric Flair was anti-NWO, then the daughter can sell out because she's not like her dad. You got an angle there.
what are you doing, Charlotte? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, as long as he's sold out. And the second female that the second female that would work because she plays not in AEW but WWE when she was there. Sasha Banks. She plays a bitchy boss character. You know, she's all about the money. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
it works.
To join the NWO. Those are my two picks: Charlotte and or Sasha.
Yeah, those would work golden. Like, could you imagine, like, the following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order? And she's just doing, like, a vignette or promo where she's just counting money and, you know, she's bragging about how, oh, yeah, I got more $1 million contracts, baby. Oh, look at this. Oh, sign on the dotted line, motherfucker.
Yo,
You know?
I want to jump in here, bro. You got to have AJ Styles. You got to have AJ Styles in the new NWO because he was already with the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Gallows, and they had like that.
He was a member of Bullet
they
Club.
did Too Sweet,
Yeah.
but it was kind of like a Walmart NWO. So like maybe you could bring the New Brothers in there or the Good Brothers in there.
That's a tag
But I
team, yeah.
think you start off by introducing AJ, and AJ Styles would be dope for the vignettes. But you know, since I'm talking now and I got the mic, man, like I just want to say it's not the worst revitalization of a legendary tag team. If you guys
It's on
remember,
top.
there's D-Generation X,
It's on top.
Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. And that was a horrible revitalization.
Better?
So, yeah, man. Yeah, but I'll keep it short because you know I still go have to research NWO. You guys, you know, saw it live, so I'll leave it up to y'all. But I just think you know it's not the worst revitalization because there was the new DX. So
And another thing too with Sasha, I just thought of this. Who's her cousin? Snoop Dogg.
Snoop. Yeah.
Snoop Dogg could be the Dennis Rodman celebrity of the group with his connections and the people he knows. You imagine getting Snoop Dogg wearing an NWO like jersey and all that stuff. That would be cool.
Yeah, that stuff could work.
Yeah, it could. Like I said, I'm not against the idea of them doing it, but wrong choice of people. All right, John, I think we'll get your take here. I think the last one, then we'll go to the next topic here.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 2020, it would have been nicer just because you could take your pick. One thing I'll say, as far as their plans go, I mean, I'm glad Kevin Nash didn't come back because the dude just he can't stop talking about politics. It seems like anytime that I see him talk, so he probably would have been on the mic supposed to do a promo and been like, and also he seems kind of like getting slow. He's like, yeah. And I got something to say about that orange guy over there. I mean, what an asshole.
Don't slur my words, dude.
Like,
Jeez. I know, it's embarrassing.
I watch him talk and I'm just like, dude, how did your charisma just like all suck out of you? Like, Ugh. Yeah. So, but I do like that angle with Charlotte Flair, and then Ric Flair could come in and he'd be like, "I'm the diaper wearing, alcohol drinking, liver cirrhosis getting." But
Gotcha.
I think that's an interesting angle, and I liked some of the choices. I think AJ Styles, yeah, that would kind of make sense. Yeah, and Tommy, luckily, it wouldn't really have too much to do with the original one, because obviously they would be way too old to be doing stuff, or are unfortunately no longer with us. But it's they came out briefly, I think, in like the 2015 or 14 WrestleMania, whenever they were doing the whole Sting angle. They just did
2015.
they just did some punches and basic stuff, because they were obviously pretty old. But like, that was the brief glimpse we got of like an NWO resurgence, but that was just kind of a cameo. So but yeah, it would have been 5 years even after that, so it's even kind of less relevant. But yeah, I mean, I could see it working. I honestly think they could do something. They could do a new thing, kind of like they did D-Generation X and WWF, which was sort of a similar, like, we're the you guys taking over and stuff, but just make it a new faction and kind of do it in the spirit of that, or have similar like idea. I don't feel like there's enough to milk whenever you don't have a lot of the original people anyway.
All right, I think that's everyone for this topic. Chris, I went to you, right? I'm getting this next one.
Wait, what?
Oh, the NWO here. I'm getting the next one ready here.
Yeah, the NWO thing. Yeah, the NWO, like a new faction, a new version of the NWO. I think it'd probably work though, like if you have the right guys though, like whether it's like with, like with Logan, with Braun though, like who else? Who else did he mention Paladin though?
Drew,
He
I
mentioned-
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew and
Omos.
Omos.
Omos, yeah. Yeah, a team of those four though, like, and with Hogan and Nash though, that could probably work.
Listen, the idea is there, but execution would have been not that great.
Yeah.
Okay, now this next one here, this was kind of, I know Tommy brought this up last night from the recent Coach and Bro show. MVP calls Triple H a coward and a liar while revealing why he left the WWE.
What is this?
Okay.
The third MVP story today? Damn.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. MVP.
I mean, that's why on my podcast I call him the player.
Oh,
That works
right.
with that acronym, yeah.
I'm coming.
So basically, to sum it up, he does not like Triple H. Like these last handful of months, man, he's been so open about he not liking the guy. So MVP was doing his podcast, marking out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze. He was discussing the end of his WWE tenure and the process that eventually led to him reuniting with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin in AEW. And to my understanding, I believe they left around the same time, which MVP will talk about here. So this is what MVP had to say. Because I don't like Triple H. I don't respect Triple H. I think he's a coward and liar. And he elaborates more on that. All right. There are multiple times that I tried to talk to him, and he would always, I'll get with you in a little bit. Or the few times that I got a chance to get him in his office alone, he would call somebody to come in. He didn't want to deal with it. Tell me, I'm a professional. Tell me how you feel. We're doing business. You don't got to like me. There's lots of people throughout my career that I've worked with that I do not like. We're making money. We're doing business. They talk about Bobby Lashley here. Bobby could not get Triple H on the phone. Triple H wouldn't give Bobby one-on-one time. Bobby wanted to talk to Triple H about, hey, what's my direction? What am I doing here? Triple H always has something come up. So I told Bobby when we were in catering, dog, I'm not going to resign. Don't resign. You and me, get Shelton. Let's go to AEW. Let's go. I was in Bobby's ear every week. Bobby, let's go, dog. Like, let's just get Shelton. Let's go across the street. And it finally came to the point where Bobby was like, yeah, you're right. There's no future here for us. So my contract ran out. Bobby's contract ran out. We didn't resign by our choice. Contrary to what somebody might say, we chose not to. I don't hate WWE. I have no animosity towards WWE. I don't have any issue with TKO. So, my friends, what do you think about MVP's comments about Triple H being a coward, a liar, and how their exit was handled. I'll quickly just give my 2 cents here. I'm going to slightly defend Triple H here. And Russo said this at best here on the Coach and Bro show. Triple H, he has too many hats on. Like, if he can't handle all these multi roles that you're in, you should not be doing that. Pick a lane and stay with it. Don't try to do talent relations, the COO, handling creative, all this stuff. Pick a category and stay with it, you know? But at the same time,
I do brush her with
if you don't want to talk to them, like, I don't get it. Like, these guys are stars. Like, again, arguably, an argument can be made. MVP and Bobby Lashley leaving modern WWE is one of the most biggest ball dropping they have ever done the last 5 to 10 years. An argument can be made for that. Just for them to go to the competition when they need stars right now. Cena's gone. Randy's winding down. Lesnar's not getting around much longer. They could use Lashley if he was still around and MVP.
Yeah.
And if Triple H, you can't handle it, don't do it. But at the same time, if people are trying to talk to you and you're telling them, no, I don't know what you're doing, or you're usually talking to him, or you're, and that's also some bitch shit, you know, like you're in your office, like, oh, hey, can you come here and deal with this? Like, if you're gonna be that petty, why you're not rule? This is where I respect Vince McMahon. If he didn't like you, but if you made him money, he would do business with you. He would talk to you. He would like make time to talk to you, listen to you. This big nose idiot doesn't. He does not. And again, in my opinion, this shows he's the wrong guy in charge to be in that spot. So, John, let's go to you first about this, my friend.
Going off what you were just saying about Vince, wasn't he? Didn't he have some quote like he'd do business with the devil himself or something if the money was good? I forget.
Yeah.
It was something about like I'll shake hands with the devil himself if I can make some money off of it or something. It's like that was kind of his attitude, and it feels like that should almost has to be kind of your attitude whenever you're running things like that, because if you're letting personal petty shit get in the way, either you're going to do something that's just like personally satisfying for you rather than like what you actually think is best for the company or the fans.
Absolutely.
And so you got to always keep that sort of perspective. And I feel like sort of detaching yourself and being like, I'm only in this for the business. That's good, because you're not letting these personal squabbles get in the way. Or like, there's also, I know it's been said of Bischoff that like he wanted to be everybody's friend. And so there may be a little bit of that creeping in here where it's like that's in conflict with your job and your responsibilities, because it sounds like Triple H was sort of avoiding him or avoiding confronting a difficult subject. And so instead of seeming like the bad guy and telling him, can't do that, sorry, like, you know, maybe another time or we'll work something out here, I'll, you know, be creative. He's just like, oh, another time. Oh gosh, I don't want to be a dick, especially like how people talk about, you know, Vince and stuff nowadays. It's like, oh gosh, you can never be mean to anybody. It's like, no, that's actually needed sometimes. People have got to learn to be told no.
Yep.
And it's a lot better than leaving them up in the air, because then you just end up wasting everybody's time. You end up wasting the company's time. You end up wasting their time because they're having a carrot dangled in front of them and they think that they're getting somewhere. They're being told you're going to talk later rather than just being told no, and they can pursue a different angle, whether that's leaving, staying, or coming up with a new thing to propose to you, which you can say yes or no to again. So just don't delay. That solves nothing and wastes everybody's time.
Yeah, absolutely. And another to kind of go off you, John, and I'll go to somebody here. Vince McMahon had an infamous quote that Paul Heyman repeated. He'd rather have someone that's in the castle pissing out instead of having that person outside trying to piss in the castle. Again, it shows Vince, we'll do business with you if you made him money, if he liked you or not. All right, hey, let's go to you, my friend, about MVP's comments about Triple H.
Well, I did say this on my podcast on Friday that he doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to deal with responsibility. You know, he has all the hats on, and he shouldn't. He should always have middle management. He should always have different people dealing with different situations. But he just doesn't do that. He just doesn't. And the fact that MVP was just really trying to get to him, get a hold of him, and Bobby was the same because they just wanted to know what creative direction they had. And it was a case of, oh no, you that person over there, you do it.
Yeah.
He just didn't want the confrontation. He didn't want to ruffle feathers, as it were. And the fact of the matter is, look, sometimes you have to be harsh. You need tough love. That's what Vince was about. He gave you tough love. If if he had to, lay down the law, he laid down the law. And as Brendan stated, yeah, he would do business with you even if he didn't like you. Unless, like, if you were making him a ton of money, he'd talk to you. He'd sit down with you, he'd give you his time of day. I mean, if Vince was, even Vince said he was willing to do a deal with the devil himself, and I'm sure he's had negotiations with people he hated, but he still did business with them. I mean, that's why I would just rather do business with Vince than Triple H, because Triple H right now is just avoiding responsibility. He's just, he's trying to get someone else to do it rather than doing it himself, and rather than just, handling the situation. And yeah, this is secretly, I'd say, frustrating every superstar back there. I mean, the cracks are beginning to show. A lot of wrestlers aren't happy with their direction. They have no idea what sort of plans are in store for them. They're kind of running around the place, like chickens with their heads cut off, because they don't know where they're going. And it's a case of, it's just a case of, like, MVP, Bobby just got frustrated. They had enough. They're in AEW now, and they're doing a lot better. They're probably with people that they know very well and that they have good chemistry with. Not just Bobby and Shelton, but I'm pretty sure he's had good chemistry with Edge, Christian, Jericho. I'm pretty sure he's on good terms with them, no doubt. Fact of the matter is, he's not boss material. It's a free for all in there.
Well, Paladin, I don't know if you can find your buddy Noseman, but I was wondering what his thoughts would be if this black guy was chasing him down, trying to make him be confrontational with him, and he was trying to, like, run and hide in the office.
No, I'm not here.
Sorry, Bobby, I can't talk to you right now. What's that? What's that, Amy? You'll do it? Okay.
Yeah, is that MVP coming around? I'd like to see him personally.
No, Stephanie, no. You just have to wait. Look, you don't have to wait. Look, I just can't talk to him right now. I'm doing some very serious booking right now. I've got put there facing Cody Rhodes in a 1 hour banger. Put down 1,000 false finishes. You see, that's what the kids want.
Just step aside a little bit, let Bobby actually show you how she
Look, Bobby, don't worry, I'll get back to you. Don't worry, I'll pencil you down somewhere.
That's right.
I don't know where to pencil you down.
All right, on this one. All right, so Wally, your thoughts on MVP calling Triple H a coward and a liar, and how they decide to leave the WWE?
I agree with MVP 100%, because here's the irony. He let those people to the point where they had to not resign their contracts while keeping mediocre duds like a Johnny Gargano, Gunther, and all, and they'll never amount to anything. And if he says I want the power and blah blah blah, you deal with the consequences that comes along. He's much like Cody Rhodes and diarrhea. They want all the praise, but none of the blame.
Mm-hmm. You want all the benefits of the position, but none of the responsibility of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Chris, go to you, my friend. Thoughts on MVP's comments about what you have to say about Triple H and why they left?
Yeah, like they're definitely true for sure. Because like with Triple H, though, like he buries like anybody that can outdraw more than him. Though he's like afraid of that though. So yeah, it wouldn't be like far from the truth though. Like with him telling like lies and with H telling lies and stuff though about them though. So
All right, Tommy, if you're there, your thoughts on MVP's comments about calling Triple H a liar and a coward, and why him Lashley decided to take off for AEW. If not, I'll get the next category topic here. Ready? All right, we'll go. All right, we'll go to the next one here. As I'm getting this onto the
We
screen here.
make this a storyline. It's like, where did Tommy go? And he's like setting up some betrayal on us, you know.
Yeah, he got ran over by a car like Stone Cold did. All right, so let's go with this one here. WWE stars allegedly fear being fired for speaking out over creative frustrations. Right, go to here. That's my thing. So Jonathan Coachman on his show 2 Count Tuesday with JD from New York claims some WWE current talent are privately frustrated with the creative direction, but they're afraid to speak out publicly. And Coach claimed that several people who still work in the WWE or have direct ties to the company message him about their unhappiness. He made it clear he would never expose anyone, but he said the frustration is real. And I quote, Coach, I would never out them, but I wish I could tell you, JD, all the people that DM me that still work there or have a direct line, they're so upset no matter what their paycheck is. Because I realize as I get into my late 40s and head into my 50s, that life is not about the paycheck. It's not. It's a means to an end. It gives you a little bit of a better life. But money at the end of the day means nothing. When you work for a company, I get these notes all the time, and I would never expose anybody. But they are so unhappy because they have to get on the plane, fly to a show that they know they're not going to be valued whatsoever. And after so long of doing that, and then you read social media, you know, JD, they hear it, they see it, you can't hide from it. And it breaks my heart when I get these messages. They'll say, man, Coach, I really agreed with what you said there, or I really agree with what you said with JD. I wish I could say it, I'll get fired. And now with the pay cuts, it's even worse. You can't say anything because they'll come to you and say, I don't give a shit whether you have 2, 3, or 4 years left on your deal. We're going to give you a pay cut, or you're going to walk out the door for whatever reason. End quote. So the question is, do they WWE needs to do a better job giving talent clear creative direction? Okay, let's start with Chris on this first about what Coach is talking about.
yeah, I would probably say though, like they do need to speak out with creative though, because obviously when it comes to Triple H and his creative team, they're not doing like really good. They're like screwing over the talent, whatnot, giving them like shitty materials. So I would probably say that they do have a right though to speak out though in terms of that.
And one thing I don't understand, when they're talking about should they give a clear creative direction. Okay, Russo has talked about him running for JCW. He has a lot of the men and women back there just asking, when you got any ideas? They just want to be involved. They want to be involved, so they have something to look towards and think about, and they can then throw their 2 cents in and come up with ideas. And it is with WWE, AEW, TNA, and all these promotions should do it. They'll get the talent, more invested. They'll get them inspired to, work harder, come up with ideas, and become a better performer. So yes, absolutely, I think they should give talent better creative direction, in my opinion. That's just my quick 2 short sentence there. All right, Wally, let's go to you. Do you think WWE should do a better job giving talent better creative direction, like laid out?
Absolutely, because you'd have to understand how the people are in order to figure out a perfect character that would work. As you pointed the example of Vince Russo. How come he succeeded? Because he understood the kind of personality that the character is and made the most out of it into a real-life character. Also, you need to speak with them in order to understand and create an environment where the workers will be involved to some extent. They will not be like led astray without any direction or any kind of guidance, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the fact that Big Nose Dumbass cannot find it just shows that he doesn't want anyone to upstage him.
Hmm.
And it's been
And that's the crazy thing, because at the end of the day, do they not give a fuck?
it's not
Like, I don't
that
think they do.
don't. It's not that they don't. I think it's a reek of pettiness and maliciousness, because Triple H always been known for being a petty, malicious person.
He wants those ratings, but he wants them his way. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to adjust to what people want. He wants people to want what he wants.
But it's not drawing.
Absolutely,
His shit,
John.
his shit doesn't draw. And that's funny. Like,
we do it my way, but it doesn't draw.
that's what it is at the end of the day. So John, might as well go to you. Your thoughts on WWE wrestlers not only be in fear of being fired for speaking out, but do they should be given creative layout to them so they know what's going on with them?
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely have some idea of what's going on. At least if you know what you're getting, even if you hate it, you'll at least know what you want to do more. If you're just left in the dark and in a cloud, it's just like, I don't know whether I should stay here another 10 years or if I should leave now. And you've got limited time. It's a physical sport. And you've also got limited time as far as your popularity goes and your character and everything. So if you're wasting time, then it's really a terrible thing for you as an individual, as a performer. So it's like you gotta, and this is just bad leadership, because you gotta keep everybody kind of on the same page. So if they're all kind of like waffling about, not really sure what to do, you shouldn't have everybody guessing, you know, that you gotta have a clarity of direction as a leader. And if you don't have that, then you're probably not a good leader.
Exactly. All right, Aina, let's go to you, my friend. Thoughts on this?
Okay, well, this just goes to show you that Triple H has them nearly just shaking in their boots that they can't come forward. They can't actually just say, look, I'm a bit unhappy with my direction. You know, back in the day, Vince Russo and, Vince Russo, Ed Ferrara and Vince McMahon, they'd always have a direction for people. And they wouldn't have to ask as much as before. They wouldn't need to. And, I don't blame them for being scared, but again, as I said, the cracks are just beginning to form. The foundation that Triple H created is, just falling apart. The thing with Triple H is he has the mind of a wrestler. Okay, he thinks like a wrestler, he books like a wrestler. All he knows is matches. I mean, even Vince Russo has said in JCW promos that, wrestlers just can't be bookers because they have agendas. They'll only push their favorites. It's a fact of life. Now, as for JD from New York, and I said this on my podcast, and I'll keep it as light as I can with him. I will say this, that, I don't interact with him too much on X. I don't really say too much about the guy. I don't know him too well. But I just came up with a lighthearted message for him, okay? It's like, JD, you have a choice, okay? You have a choice to make. You have a big platform. You have two choices. Either you just keep being a mark and just not tell it as it is because you just wait for the Overton window to just move, the goalpost moves, or you can just be straight with people. Be truthful. Stop being an idiot. Stop insulting people's intelligence and just come out and say it. You've nothing to lose. Forget the marks. Forget, having to kiss up to them. Forget having to say such outrageous stuff. I mean, you have an opportunity now to change things. If you're working with the coach and Vince Russo, you have a chance to make things right. You have a chance to, do the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, JD, to do the right thing. And, if I were you, I would just say do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Stop being a shill. It's not helping you in the long run. It's not helping you. And when you decide to, say it as it is, then when it's too late, you might crack under the pressure. It's either it's now or never, JD. Now or never.
All right, Tommy, we'll go to you here. Thoughts on?
I'll be right back. I gotta walk my homie down to his Uber.
All right, we'll continue here.
Yeah, but there's a ranking system in every work environment, bro. So that's what I gotta say.
That's very true. All right, now let's go to this one here. Tony Khan refuses to confirm AEW profitability while bragging about record revenue this year. So let me just add it to the screen here, and I'll read it here. Okay, here we go. Oh, I gotta come back. Hello, this. All right, so AEW president Tony Khan danced around the profitability question during the AEW Double or Nothing media call, but he made one thing crystal clear. AEW is bringing in more money than ever before. When asked directly if AEW is profitable in 2026, Khan avoided giving a yes or no answer. Instead, he shifted focus to the company's revenue growth and future expansion plans while painting a very optimistic picture of where AEW currently stands financially. Khan told the media that AEW is having its biggest revenue year in company history and claimed the promotion has never had a stronger financial outlook. So Tony had this to say, and I quote, "Our revenue is the highest it's ever been. I can't comment on where we stand in terms of every expense year to year. Certainly, this is going to be the most revenue we've ever generated and the strongest financial outlook for the company ever. I'm reinvesting in a number of projects, including digital projects, to grow the company for the future. In addition to having the highest revenue by far in AEW history this year, I'm also making big investments for the future to grow the company. The future is the healthiest outlook because I'll continue to reinvest in the business, developing new platforms, and try to open up new territories to grow the company in the future." Okay, so couple things I want to break down here for Tony Khan's comments here. All right, let's talk April 15th to May 15th, because those are the way numbers I can tell you. So April 15th is when Darby Allin won the AEW title. May 15th is when he dropped it. So when he won the belt, he has 715,000 fans watching Dynamite. So a decent increase for them. 1 month later, 615,000. They lost, so within 30 days, they lost 100,000 viewers. And if he's talking about growing the company, the numbers are not showing it. And if I were him, I'd do it fast. Because we got all these talks about, Paramount, the merger they might be doing. They might lose their TV deal. This merge happens. And he better do something, man. Because I think Tony Khan, he may think they're secured. But what if a new guy comes in and looks at the numbers that they're doing and what kind of revenue they're bringing in? They're going to look at like, okay, this doesn't, for all this money here, this all the money they're spending, but we're not getting a return for our investment. What's going on here? And if that's the case, they might drop them. Then what? Are they going to go to Amazon Prime, like Jerry has said, YouTube TV, or wherever the fuck? And another thing too, why not? You're sure, mind you, they are not public; they're private. So Tony Khan doesn't have to, per se, have to talk about what they're making. But at the same time, if you have nothing to hide, you're talking about, record-breaking, grossing revenue for the company. Share what we made. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide. If you kind of wish-washy dancing around the statement there, it'll make people wonder, okay, is he full of shit and they're in the red and they don't want that out? Like TKO, we talked about this on the show back in February. We talked about how TKO came out, okay, quarter one, we made this, quarter two, we went down, quarter three, we went up. This is how much money this person got paid. Like, they were public with every category of who made who, what made what, how much they lost, how much went to this, that. They were very open to it. So why not do that? That's where I kind of question Tony Khan. Is he telling the truth or is he full of shit about the revenue? And I have said this last night on the show. Could AEW be a tax write-off for both Tony and his dad? Could that be a possibility? Okay, so let's go to you, John, if you're there, about Tony Khan kind of stepping back and not really answering the question about if they're making money or not.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of like Xbox whenever they're like, yeah, like we aren't going to give you profits, we aren't going to give you like sales or anything like that, but you know, these stats that we have carefully selected, they're totally irrelevant because revenue really doesn't mean anything if you don't know the profit. If you spent, you know, oh, I'm making more than ever, even if that's true, what if you're spending more than ever? And what if you're losing more than ever? It's like, yeah, nobody's going to look at, yeah, you got to look at profitability. And then the other thing is, yeah, he can keep the company running, but he can't buy relevance. And if it becomes totally irrelevant, and the same thing, what also makes me think of like an Xbox where they're like, we're going to spend $80 billion to buy relevant IP and still nobody cares about you. It's like, okay, maybe you gotta work a little harder. You can't just buy your way out of this. So you can have all the money in the world if you're a Tony Khan, but unfortunately, you can't guarantee success because of that.
Very true. Very true. Aina, your thoughts, my friend?
Now, as stated, yeah, he is a privately trained company. He doesn't have to release his details. But I have to say, what he's saying realistically is that it just sounds like a big company line, what he's saying. Like every company says this. You know, like every company's going to say, oh, we got record profits in 2025 and we're doing the same in 2026. It's no different here. I think with Tony, I don't believe it too much. I don't. I think the only way you could ever know is if somehow the financials of 2025 got leaked and we could then get an overhaul of, were they in the green? Were they in the red? You know, I don't know the current situation for them in 2026. I don't know if they've turned a profit so far. You know, I don't know if they've made a lot of revenue. You know, I mean, sure, like, you know, with Tony Khan, like all he has really is the unlimited checkbook. You know, as Jerry would say, he's like a Ted Turner. He can just keep pumping money into it. He can just keep going. As for TV deals, he'll get one. Amazon Prime was a good one. I think that'll be a good place for him to go. YouTube TV, don't know. I remember one stage TWRP, big shout out to them. They were saying like Tubi because it's free.
Well, I saw a report recently that they're going to Paramount.
Yeah, it's the merger.
Yeah, and I'm back. I apologize for being, talkative, with my buddy here off air. But yeah, thank you guys for running the show, holding it down while I was busy there.
Oh, okay, brother, we got you.
Anytime.
All right, let's go to what's Jen? Okay, Tom, might as well go to you. Thoughts on Tony Khan refusing to confirm AEW profitability while bragging about record revenue year?
Yeah, I mean, look, numbers don't lie unless you're botting. So show us the numbers, and then we have nothing to hide and we have nothing to speculate. The problem is you create speculation now, and we can easily call you a liar. You want to shut us up, then show that you're really, really that guy, man, and you're turning a profit this year, because most wrestling companies don't turn a profit. OVW doesn't. I'd be surprised if JCW doesn't, because it's a fucking money pit. If you buy a wrestling company, you're going to lose a lot of money. Even the WWE is in debt with all their sponsorships. There's a reason they're selling out to all these sponsors, because it's fucking expensive, and they're in stadium business. They're in arena business. So, even those guys are struggling at times. In AEW, yeah, Tony Khan, he's going to struggle. He's a billionaire, enough said. He'll keep throwing money at it. Yeah. He ain't going to die.
All right, Waleed, let's go to you. Your thoughts on Tony Khan refusing to confirm AEW profitability while he's bragging about record revenue year.
I'd say it's the usual corporate thing. They'll brag about the profits because they're hype men. They're not gonna make it seem like no, we're complete fuck ups. They're not gonna. It will make them look bad. So of course they're gonna lie to you to some extent to make it seem much like someone who tries to scam you. You're buying a fucked up car. He'll make it seem as if you're getting a deal, like Simeon from GTA 5 as an example.
Yeah.
So as for the
You
profits,
don't like me
it's
because I am Arab.
as for the profits, I say he's not making because the ratings have been showing it and the decrease and all. He's more like pouring his own money into it. He's trying to divulge it by bragging about the profits here and there. He's using it as a deflective argument.
Well,
Or could it be like a tax write-off? Like, could that be the case? It could be a tax write-off.
That could be. That could be because I don't know how the laws are.
Well, that's not illegal if it's a tax write-off. That's just smart because he's going to get more money back from what he invested in at the end.
Well, I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm saying could that be a reason why they're not really putting much effort into it because they're going to get their money back? Could that be a
I
possibility?
mean, that's not necessarily true because millionaires do this with everything they buy. If they buy a Lamborghini, it's a tax write-off. It doesn't mean they don't love their Lamborghini. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my perspective. Like, because I would love to save all the money in the world. If I can get any purchases and have some money back, then yeah, I'm going to do that. You know?
Yeah. All right, Chris, your thoughts on Tony Khan refusing to confirm the profitability of AEW while bragging about record revenue year?
Yeah, it's obviously the usual corporate talk, though. Like, yeah, usually I think the thing is that they have to like show the numbers, though. Like, if they're not doing so well, they should show it, though. Like, otherwise they're kind of lying, though. Like, obviously, though, and yeah, it's kind of a money pit, though. Like at this point, though. So.
Well,
So yeah, Mr. Go ahead, John.
You know, you show the number. Quite frankly, the only reason to show the numbers or the only reason to hide the numbers rather, is if the numbers are bad.
Yeah.
And in my like gaming example, like the reason that I bring that up is because whenever they were the highest selling console, Microsoft was always very happy to just report straight numbers. Say, we sold the most consoles in the US this month, and we've done it for 30 straight months. And as soon as they started losing, then all of a sudden it was like, well, the sales don't really matter. What's important is this other number. It's just like, yeah, and they're a public company. And so he's not obligated legally to show anything. As, you know, Paladin noted, it's a private company, sure. However, if you're not showing it, we can naturally assume that it's not good. Because if you had good numbers, you would be shouting that from the mountaintops. You would be very happy to report your numbers. Be like, hey, look at all this profit. Suck it, haters, you know?
And what to add on to that, Bischoff did that. When WCW was turning a profit, he did that. And you know, like when 95, 96, 97, even 98 when they're starting to lose in the ratings.
83
they were making profit. Like 1998, Bischoff has gone on record saying that's their most profitable year. It was 1998. Like he was talking about like profit and what they made, what they didn't make.
Yeah.
All right, I see Mr. T's here. Okay, Mr. T, if you want to chip in. So the question is, what do you think why Tony Khan is refusing to confirm AEW profitability while he's bragging about record revenue year?
I think Tony's just a bullshitter, to be quite honest with you. He's always done this stuff. When AEW started, he always done this shit. Like, what was the one match he had with, not him, but Punk? It was Punk and Hangman Page, right? He was bragging it was the first $1 million gate, right, for the company's history, but he didn't show any of. He didn't show any of the finances and all that stuff. And he's like talking about Vince McMahon's old lawyer, Jerry McDevitt, saying about, you know, blah blah blah, like bringing up all this stuff. Tony's always done this shit, man. Oh, we're doing fantastic, but he never shows said work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're not gonna say, like, if you're not gonna show it, don't keep on like saying like we're doing great. Just move on from like that question. Just move on. Don't even answer it at this point.
Exactly. Sounds like a Dave Meltzer-ism for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all right. Now we got one more article. Then I got the main event Meltzer clips here. So now this is kind of almost exactly breaking, but more of an update. It's the Vince McMahon, Triple H, Nick Khan, like scandal lawsuit with the whole. Is it like an inside job, an insider trade? Did people get fucking scammed? Like, what's really going on here? So let me add it to the screen here. Okay, here we go. So now these three men I just named are being listed as witnesses into the merger lawsuit trial. And also Triple H too. So make that four. He's also listed in this as well. So, oh, hit on someone just joined. Let me add Mr. T back. Okay, anyway, here we go. So a joint proposed pretrial order filed publicly on this past Tuesday and obtained by Post Wrestling lays out the witness list in the shareholder lawsuit challenging how the deal came together. And that's the main thing, viewers, is many people are suspicious how this merger came to be. So Vince McMahon and TKO CEO Ari Emanuel are listed as live witnesses by both sides, while the defendants also intend to call Levesque, aka Triple H, and Nick Khan in the courtroom. The lawsuit is centered around allegations that McMahon steered WWE toward a deal with Endeavor because it allowed him to remain involved with the company after the sexual misconduct allegations became public in 2022. The shareholder plaintiffs claim other potential bidders were not given a fair opportunity to compete for the WWE, potentially costing investors a better deal. McMahon and the other defendants denied the allegations. The case names McMahon, Khan, Levesque, George Barrios, and Michelle Wilson as defendants over their roles as members of WWE's board during the merger process. WWE and TKO are not named as defendants in the lawsuit, though the companies could ultimately face financial responsibility through defamation if damages are awarded. The plaintiffs intend to call McMahon, Emanuel, TKO president and COO Mark Shapiro, Ray Baker, Jeffrey Sine, former WWE executive Frey Riddick, and current TKO chief financial officer Andrew Schleimer as live witnesses. The defendants' live witness list, Peter, among others, Stephanie McMahon could also become part of the trial. The plaintiffs listed her as a witness they may call live or present through previously recorded deposition testimony. Stephanie served as WWE executive and board member before resigning shortly after her father returned to the company in January 2023. And also, as a reminder, because those screenshots did get leaked, that little app that they were using, it did show Vince McMahon was still involved with the creative when Cody won the belt at that WrestleMania in Philadelphia for Roman, where Nick went to go spell likeness. Vince McMahon said, "What the hell is that?" And he had to tell him, read it backwards. And apparently, with this app, when he typed that, it deletes all private conversations. And they're also being accused of deleting evidence for the trial, which is a felony if they are found guilty of this. So basically, okay, I want it's just more mumble jumble and all this stuff here. Okay, I do want to say this now with more stuff coming out and all this shit being leaked. In my opinion, this could rock the WWE harder than the steroid trial in the early 90s. Because if they are found guilty, if they got to end up paying a lot of this money back and cover all the damages they cost people, this is going to put them in a financial hole like deeper than they were in the early to mid 90s, in my opinion. This is not looking good. I know in June, so next month, we're almost in June, they got the Vince McMahon, Janelle Grant arbitration taking place. Then they got this. So if they're found guilty and they end up got to like cover the damages, they're screwed, in my opinion. They really are. Ada, let's go to you about this first.
Yeah. I mean, like the steroid trial was an utter nightmare. I mean, you know, that was a crazy time for Vince McMahon. You know, he was going through a lot back then. At one stage, he was declaring for bankruptcy around that time. And it was, you know, that big trial was just nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And if it wasn't for Hogan's testimony, he'd be in prison right now.
Yeah.
He's
Save him.
yeah. I mean, he has survived the federal government a good number of times. He's been able to do it. This one is, well, it could be up there. This trial could definitely be up there with all that information that I was reading on by podcast. I was kind of thinking to myself, like especially if Triple H is in there and Stephanie is in there, that right there could be like another nail in that coffin for Triple H, because that's a bad image. Because,
Yep.
when you're a publicly traded company, you have to have a good image 110% of the time. Scandals like this do not help. Like at the time, the WWF was privately owned. That was a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
This right here is a completely different breed of animal, because you've got shareholders to answer to, you've got people in the boardroom to answer to, you've got a lot of things going on, and the pressure for Triple H is piling up. I think the prediction of him being gone by SummerSlam is speeding up a bit, especially with this trial. It could accelerate before we know it. Now, is it going to speed it up? Yeah, I think with all the information we're getting, and next week is the start of June, and then comes the Janelle Grant trial. I think they're just going to pay her a big cash settlement, to be honest. I think with that one. But I think with the other trial, that's going to be a doozy.
Very true. All right, Chris, let's go to you, my friend.
Yeah, I think the whole case though, this is like a big case though, and I think WWE is like in big trouble though. Like if this goes further, and it could also like put like Triple H's job in jeopardy though. So yeah, I would probably agree with you, Paolo, though, that like with H being gone by SummerSlam, it wouldn't probably be far from the truth though. So
For sure. All right, Tommy, your thoughts here.
Yeah, so if this is true and Vince McMahon acted in his own personal interest, and it's a violation of his fiduciary obligations. And if you don't know the definition, a fiduciary is a person or organization legally and ethically bound to manage money or assets for another party, placing that party's best interests above their own. Derived from the Latin word fidere, meaning to trust, it represents the highest standard of care and loyalty in law. Okay, so if you guys all gave me money and you guys trusted me to invest that and to give you back more money than what you put in, and I just fucking flip it for myself for my best interest, that's a violation. That's illegal. If we all had bounded contracts, and these guys are all friends, they're all millionaires. The guys who are really going to get affected, like your regular 9-to-5 Joe Schmo, like he may or may not have $10,000 in stocks, but like we're really talking about guys who have assets and like guys who really may affect him. And he's just gonna burn bridges, make enemies, and I don't know if it's going to blow up in his face. We'll see if this evidence that he deleted messages and try to, do a deal that was best with him for him, because there's a company that he was working with. And I forget what company that was. But anyway, yeah, it's a violation. What was the company that Vince McMahon owns? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I9 Productions, right?
Are we talking about ICO Pro from back in the 90s? Or are we talking about the one right now he's got?
Because
it's that talent. You talking about the new talent agency he's got or whatever it is?
That's the I9 Productions, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it called like Endeavor or something? Like
No, that's the company the big brand company that owns TKO.
Yeah,
so
so
what's
apparently
Ethan
when
on?
he sold it to Endeavor, it was only in Endeavor's best interest and Vince McMahon's best interest. So
Right.
that's where a violation would be committed because
Yeah,
all your
the-
other shareholders are getting fucked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
they are. They absolutely are. All right, Mr. T, let's go to you, my friend.
Yeah, going back to the Janelle Grant thing just for a second, I don't think that I honestly think that's a nothing burger. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it real. I think she's just a corporate hooker. She can tell when that she says, "Oh, I'm I was passed around all that stuff." I think there was more of a I think it was agreed upon a part of all parties. I think she knew about it. She only came forward because of the money stopped coming, and she's like, you know what? I'm not getting paid, so now I'll tell everyone I'm a victim and everything in between. But going back to Vince, like and all them deleting the text messages and stuff like that, definitely not a good look for anybody involved. Triple H, I don't know. When did you get released being the booker?
No,
Probably
soon.
so, but the problem is who's going to take over? And is it going to be Brian Gewirtz and The Rock? If that's the case, yeah, that's the case. Is The Rock going to try to book remotely? Because I don't think that's going to work out.
Well, Bill, let me ask you this, sir, Mr. T. It's the first time talking to you, so hang on, I cannot cheat.
Mm.
Okay, so a conspiracy theory I proposed a while back. Could The Rock and Brian Gewirtz are purposely in the shadows? One of the reasons why they never showed up at last year's WrestleMania, just standing and watching, hoping Triple H fucks up. Then when he is in hot water, they can then just shoot him out like we're here to save the day, and he will find it. They on.
That's what I think as well. I think that's going to happen as well. I think that's what they've been doing. The Rock's been playing 4D chess while Triple H is playing checkers. My honest opinion is I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H did get released tomorrow, get fired from WWE. I would not be surprised if he goes and buys TNA.
All right, who's cooking? We gotta mute that.
That ain't me.
Yeah, they music.
bro, it's fucking Paladin, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, it's just clicking one of my glasses there. Sorry about that.
All right, so let's go to Waleed. Your thoughts on this clusterfuck situation?
On this clusterfuck situation, with what should I start? For the Janelle thing, in my opinion, she's, as Mr. T said, a corporate hooker. Because in all seriousness, how can you take someone seriously that had to read a statement from a piece of paper according to some events that quote unquote happened, realistically speaking?
Mm-hmm.
As for the second thing, for the whole lawsuit and the deleted messages, I always knew something shisty was going on ever since the Cell, Endeavor, and blah, blah, blah. I knew something was kind of a clusterfuck, and all those investors are being fucked in the ass, bluntly, to put it
They are.
bluntly.
No, they are. I agree.
They're being fucked in the ass, and as I think, like you've noticed, all the ones that are being put at the front, like the Mark Shapiro or that jabroni, that Nick Khan or whatever the fuck his name is, that jabron, that I made that turned into a cuckold that forget your masculinity and live happily ever after. That guy. They're just being used as stooges.
Mm-hmm.
While Ari seems like more like the evil mastermind behind it. If you look at it in a way, and I can see it also, being a Triple H, you're getting the fuck out. He's just doing like, if you guys remembered from the Budokai Tenkaichi series, the survive until time runs out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it basically is, this whole thing. And as for the part, they're pretty fucked.
Yeah,
and that
they
if
are.
it turns out to be true, they're completely fucked.
That's very true here. All right, so I see he's already got the part there.
First of all, I'm kind of old. I don't know how to use technology. If I deleted some messages, that's not really my fault. I newfangled phones. Hey, pal, you want to keep cleaning your dishes over there? Come on. And also, I'd like to say, I, much like the steroid trial, I actually have an injury during this trial.
That's a huge pity, sir.
That's good.
And I gotta say, really, if anything does come of this, just know that it's all Paul's fault, and you should shove it all up his nose.
All right. Okay.
Pick him while he's
Yeah.
down.
Yep, fair enough.
You know.
Don't worry, sir. We'll do it.
We'll
do
get
it.
right on it. We'll get
Fuck
right on
ball.
it, sir. Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, Chris, let's go to you. Thoughts on this clusterfuck situation?
I think I probably already spoke about it though. Like
That's
if
right, yeah.
this- yeah.
My bad. All right, so Tommy, I see you have a video here. So what do we
Yeah.
got here?
So this is a deep dive from James Romero. If you want to add it to the stage,
I got it right here. Yep.
Yep, thank you. And I'll drop his link here in the chat here if you guys want to watch the full thing. But we're just gonna get a couple minutes into this video because I love him. You know, I respect him. Loves a strong word. I don't know. I just said it, but I said it. You know, I respect the fuck out of this dude. Like he's an inspiration. He's like what I hope our channel could grow to be one day. You know what I mean?
Don't tell Kevin Nash that.
I know Kevin Nash.
Where's
buried
the guy?
him.
He's everybody other than me.
He did.
is a
He
loser.
buried him,
That's
and
really
well, Maven I
problem.
can see, but Stevie, I was like, come on, man.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
It's like 15 minutes, but I'm gonna skip through this shit.
Hello all, James here. Now, there's been another development in one of several legal cases that Vince McMahon is currently involved in. And no, it's not anything directly to do with Janelle Grant this time. And no, it's nothing to do with the Ring Boy scandal lawsuit either, which recent decision to keep the Ring Boys anonymous went in favor of the plaintiff. So I'll be covering that in a future video as well. This one, once again, pertains to the WWE TKO shareholders lawsuit, which is coming up very, very soon. It's coming up to trial. A judge just handed a major loss to the Vince McMahon camp, which also includes WWE President Nick Khan, WWE's Chief Creative Officer Triple H, Paul Levesque, and former WWE board members George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. Now, they were sacked in 2020 by Vince McMahon, only to be rehired in January 2023 by Vince McMahon. Very, very soon after he returned to WWE, by the way, to, quote, facilitate the company's sale. Anyway, Vice Chancellor J. Travis Lasser of the Delaware Court of Chancery has decided that Vince McMahon and the rest of the defendants, plus Stephanie McMahon and former WWE Chief Operating Officer Brad Bloom, or Blum, it's spelled Blum, used a messaging app called Signal in order to conceal communications, very important communications in regard to the sale/merger of WWE when they were expressly told not to. Nick Khan directed people to use the app via a text message that was accessible in Discovery by writing Lingas and told everyone to read it backwards, a near incomprehensible cipher that the plaintiffs eventually managed to crack. And I guess it was also Nick Khan, although I'm not absolutely sure of this, who actively directed all the people that I mentioned to turn on the auto-delete feature for their messages that's a part of Signal. Anyway, let's say that this was rather a conflict of interest very much. And furthermore, WWE officers were told to keep their communications available. Explicitly, they were told this for public record. Now, this all relates to the WWE TKO shareholders lawsuit. As I said, I won't go through it all again because I did do a video on it a couple of months ago explaining it in more in depth. But these are the main points. After Vince McMahon retired and then returned to help facilitate the sale of the company, WWE, at the beginning of 2023,
Yo, can everybody hear the video?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So I think it's just Mr. T's having technical issues.
I'm back.
Yo, welcome
Mr. T's
back.
having issues?
Yeah, you can't hear the video audio.
Okay, so we're just gonna wait then, or we keep going?
He's muted right now.
Because I believe he is, yes. It shows
Okay,
that he's muted.
let's give him a couple minutes here, see if he comes back. So, okay, we'll do impromptu. Okay, there he is right there. Okay, we have two Mr.
We have
T's.
two Mr. T's here. Okay,
Yeah,
now-
sorry, but I'm having problems on my end for some reason. StreamYard's acting really stupid on my end for some reason.
Do you have other tabs open, like a video game or something? Because sometimes the PC can't handle StreamYards and running a game.
I think so. I'm checking. While he's checking here, I'm gonna make it on the record. I'm not watching Clash in Italy tomorrow. Fuck that. Okay, Mr. T says, and there it goes again. LOL. What the fuck?
What the hell? Can we get him a new link? Maybe we'll give him a fresh link. Like maybe that link's fucked for him.
Okay, hold I'll send you your Instagram there, Tommy. Just forward it to him. I'll have him on my Instagram.
I forgot to mention with the last thing. I know this is still pertaining to the same subject. But as far as I agree with other members of the panel who were talking about that woman, I always love these stories because it's like, oh, you got paid all this money and you slept around. You always say that you were coerced or something. I believe that's one of hers. It's like, well, it didn't stop you from taking the money at the time or quitting or anything like that. Like,
yeah, like the thing is, she took the money and like the Tate brothers. Okay, this is relevant. The Tate brothers listed what she got, and it was like she took all that when she could have refused. She could have said no, but you just look at all of the expensive stuff she got in that NDA. It's like you could have refused. Okay, I think that clearly you were into this. I think clearly this was like a kink for you personally, and that you were reading off a script. You weren't speaking from the heart. You were just reading out a script, and it looked all fake.
With all of those, it's like, why is it only coerced 20 years later? Wouldn't you immediately feel that? Like, and you do it over a period of time. It's normally not just one instance. Like, hey, take the deal or leave it. Like big pressure. It's like you're repeatedly re-upping this thing. It's like nobody's putting you under a long term. Like they're giving you 100%. I think she was the one that went like from 100K to 200K.
Yep.
Salary increase. It's
and
like,
she was getting like gift cards to Bloomingdale's, Macy's back in the day, and like she was getting paid like I think there was one settlement she was getting paid like $10 million just to shut the fuck up. So that's what I'm saying. It's like
it's consensual, and everybody knew what the deal was when it happened,
Exactly.
and then whenever you were told to shut up. So it's like you want to get back the $10 million, and then you can start a case, maybe, or you get back all the money. And then you can start a case. But if you're going to keep all the benefits and then still be mad about it, it's like that seems wildly hypocritical to me.
Yeah, and it's just like Brock Lesnar. I don't think Brock actually requested a piss video. I think he knew it's like, look, Vince is fucking fucked. He's weird. So it's like if he's tell your girl to send me a piss video, right? That's what I think it was. We're like, okay, let's see what kind of freaky shit your girl will send me. But like, I don't think he was like saying, yeah, I'm gonna meet up and I'm gonna have sex with you and like abuse you and shit like that. I just think that's all a bunch of bullshit on her end.
Agreed there. All right, now we're back. Do you want to try the audio again there, Tommy?
Yeah, let's try this again. I dropped a couple of your links. I'm going to drop all your links eventually. Here we go.
Which couldn't happen without him because Vince owned the majority of the voting shares in the company. WWE started fielding offers for an outright purchase of the company. Now, WWE received several credible offers through this, but Vince ended up choosing to go with Endeavor, which would see an all-stock merger that brought together WWE, UFC, which at the time was owned by Zuffa, Pro Bull Riders, and then after, this is in later on when it was formed, Zuffa Boxing, as well as under the TKO corporate umbrella, IMG, which is a sports marketing management agency, and also the on-location ticketing service. They're all part of TKO now as well. All WWE shareholders became TKO shareholders when the merger happened, and some were unhappy with Vince's choice to go with what they saw as maybe the worst possible suitor out of all of them, at least in the immediate, rather than going with a higher money offer. And for the record, the offers were these. Liberty Media. Now, Liberty Media has interests in Formula One, other motorsports, that kind of thing, as well as Live Nation. They offered $95 to $100 per WWE share as entirely a cash offer. Same with KKR, but with a slightly less amount of money per share as well. KKR is a global investment firm. And Base 10 was an offer of stock and a cash mix with $76.83 per WWE share. Base 10 was AEW boss Tony Khan's vehicle for the purchase and the offer. Now, Tony Khan admitted he was flying completely blind. It was a blind bid, essentially. So he offered what he thought was fair market value for it. But ultimately, Liberty Media and KKR offered far better initial offers than Endeavor's initial buyout proposal of $88.43 a share, but it's a cash and stock election thing. But that was their first offer. by the way. Anyway, Endeavor returned with an all stock company merger offer after this, and Vince took the deal rather than, for example, the better, at least in the initial, Liberty Media offer, which could have seen them get $100 per share, at least on paper anyway, leading to the shareholders suing as they felt that Vince McMahon and WWE were accepting a proposal that really was kind of way more self-serving to Vince McMahon ultimately than anything else, and wasn't benefiting or didn't have the shareholders at the forefront of his mind when he was making these decisions. Now, this is called a breach of fiduciary duty, and it benefits the shareholders, by the way, in this lawsuit, to know that all of the other suitors, that's Base 10, KKR, Liberty Media, whatever else it was, none of them offered to keep Vince McMahon on the books. They all wanted to get rid of Vince McMahon apart from Endeavor. So therefore, it's even more, I guess, obvious, at least the plaintiffs would argue, that Endeavor was chosen because it was, once again, the most self-serving option for Vince McMahon personally, that he could remain with the company.
You guys got a question?
You know what? That sheet that he was looking at shows like Liberty and the other group there, their bid was a lot higher than Endeavor's initial and the second one. That's insane. Now this adds more to the lawsuit. And as Mr. T, the question here, real quick, did Vince go to the Saudis before TKO? My understanding, there were talks, but I don't know how far they got.
Gotcha. Okay. Just making sure.
Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I've never heard there were talks about it.
Gotcha.
All right. So, more one played their Tommy, or was that it?
Just a clarification for the non-limeys. Sacked means fired. In this instance, you don't know what Vince was getting up to, so it's actually important to clarify terms that involve sack. Anyways.
That's true.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very true.
Yeah, we'll watch a couple more minutes.
Especially as there are messages from future TKO boss Ari Emanuel offering to help Vince.
John, you gotta go?
Yeah, man, I got split for the night.
Well, how long do you got? I want to see my Dave clips.
You what?
I have Dave Meltzer clips from the main event of this.
I'll watch the rest. I was watching you guys before whenever I had to finish up my work before I stopped in.
Okay.
I'll watch the rest of it back. We'll see you guys later, though.
Okay.
All right, take care, John.
Take care, John.
Link this time.
Take care.
All right, go ahead, Tommy.
All right.
Go ahead, play. And I can do the
legally speaking regarding various misconduct allegations as far as using company funds to pay off various women and their non-disclosure agreements. Now, these are backed up with numerous text messages, by the way. This is before the whole Signal thing, and I'm going to show you some text messages as well. But Vince & Co. had long since made up their mind, and this is what is being alleged, as to the fate of WWE's eventual new owners, while still fielding offers from other sources, giving an appearance of a sham bidding process to appease shareholders and preserving Vince's place in the company. And when I say Vince & Co. had long since decided this, I'm talking mid-2022, while Vince was still, quote-unquote, retired. But others involved all felt that Vince would be back in like 9 months after the worst of the heat had blown over. Anyway, he was back in 6 months. The McMahon also with these messages and the rest of his co-defendants in this case, as well as Stephanie McMahon and Brad Blum and possibly others, actively tried to hide evidence of the sales process by using the Signals app's auto message delete function. And moreover, everybody started using the messaging app in 2023 during the sales process and the discussions of said sale. Look at this. I even made a little graphic for it. Here we go. Here's some of the text messages. The race is on, quote, sent by Endeavor president Mark Shapiro on the day Vince McMahon resigned in July 2022, reflecting immediate deal-orientated thinking about WWE's future. Let's go. Context. A quick response from another Endeavor executive showing the enthusiasm for pursuing a path involving McMahon and WWE. I love that idea, Jeff. McMahon's reaction to Rain banker Jeff Sines' concept for a role transaction structure that could bring McMahon back into the picture. Just at this point, I need to make mention that Rain refers to the Rain Group, which is an investment bank advisory firm that WWE used. Rain matters because it's not just some like random outside consultancy company. It was the key deal advisors helping evaluate and like structure the potential
You guys want to watch the whole thing, or we good?
Up to y'all.
I'm good if you guys are.
I'm good.
Yeah. Because I dropped the link, so if you guys want to watch the full video, feel free to check it out.
Yep.
But I don't want to bore you guys to death. You
Oh.
know?
Oh no, yeah. I'm not bored. I just
It wasn't that boring. That was really interesting.
Yeah, because that adds more to it.
Yeah, he's a very deep dive. So
He is, yeah. All right, now. my
we
friends.
respect him. Shout out James.
Absolutely, James Romero. Check him out with Steven Richards, Dutch Mantel, and all the awesome people that he does stuff with.
Yeah.
All right, now, my friends. Okay, now I got to deliver the goods here. I promoted this last night of the show on Holy Soldiers. So I got 2 Beltsabugu clips here. So the first one, he's, midlife crisis. He's getting older. He's losing his hair. I'm going to show y'all his new and improved look on this past Monday.
All right, well, let's go to Meltzer. He's got a new look. So that's what he's saying here doesn't matter. You just got to see the new look.
The bad news is that third out.
Oh my god.
This fucking
Oh my
Mongoloid.
god,
My
he's
God.
balding. He is
Oh,
balding.
Look at that look, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let Vince say it for me.
Bro, he literally is using that to hide his hair. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, he's literally using that now. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's going to do this now?
Why not just put the fish hat back on?
I mean, bro, you're going to run out of shit. Like, seriously, man. You're going to start wearing a fucking turban? Wow.
And it's not covering it very well either. It's the giant spot between the glasses and the headphones.
Oh my God. Give it up, bro. Jeez,
Like, look at
already.
That looks like when you get like a long cut and you try to put a band-aid on it. It doesn't cover the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Wow.
Oh my god, what
Oh,
a sad
man.
sack of shit.
Yeah, now look at the second one here. Okay, Aina, your thoughts on Meltzer's new look as I'm getting the last one ready.
He is such a sad sack of shit. Like, seriously. I mean, there's one thing that comes to mind. Get that razor and just go bald, for God's sake, David. Just go bald, Dave. Go flipping bald. There's nothing wrong with losing hair. There really isn't.
All right,
I mean, for
Jerry.
God's sake, I'll tell you this much. My dad doesn't have hair anymore, Dave, and he doesn't try to hide it. He's not trying to use every lotion, potion, and pill to hide it. He doesn't. I mean, like, just shave your head, Dave. Shave it. Moron.
All right, take care, Mr. T. Have yourself a good one.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it. By the way, fuck Dave. That Mongoloid fuck.
Yep, fuck it.
It looks like a Mongoloid. Which, by the way, catch me on Pin Down Podcast. Appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you guys.
Absolutely, man.
Have a good one.
Take care. Jerry, your thoughts on his new look? Is improved? Enough said. That's all I need to know. Enough said.
Jesus.
All right, Wally, you're our guest. What do you think of Meltzer's new look?
Oh, Meltzer's look.
His new
Oh,
look. Improved.
his new look.
Yes.
I mean, he's trying to appeal to his already massive list of lovers. So he was definitely using it to hide it. He was using the headset and all as a hiding cover.
Oh, no shit. That is bad. All right, Chris,
Yeah.
what you give it 6 stars? What do you think of his new look?
No, I'll give it 0 though. Like, I would say he should either shave his head or wear a beret though at this point though. Seriously.
I agree. I agree with Mr. T's comment that I missed. The turban would be an improvement. It would. All right,
Yeah.
Tommy, your thoughts on Meltzer's new look? You're on me, buddy.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's all basically. Okay, now the main event here. All right, I had my fair share of my criticisms towards Brian Alvarez, which is his co-host. But the last 9 months, I am starting to defend him more. I feel so bad for him that he's got to deal with Dave. I got here of them. Brian is bringing up legitimate good points of AEW's poor booking. Dave on that payroll, I feel so bad for him.
Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez audio, and they're arguing about a recent Will Ospreay match against Ace Austin.
God, that match with Ace Austin. Like, the match was good. It was like, bro, this was your first match since you act.
Oh, you get there? You get there?
Dork. Can I just say this? That my father is much more cooler than this guy. And also, my father's twice the man he'll ever be. Twice the fucking man.
Oh, yeah? My dad can beat up your dad, Paladin.
Okay, try hard, Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Back to the show.
And they're arguing about a recent Will Ospreay match against Ace Austin.
God, that match with Ace Austin. Like, the match in a vacuum was good, but it was like, bro, this was your first match since A, you allegedly got cleared. B, you've been trained to be a killer from the Death Riders. C, John Moxley just gave you a speech about don't give so much, just go out there and kill this fucking guy. 15 minutes to beat Ace Austin.
Yeah.
So think about that. That what Alvarez just laid out, plus this is one of your top guys, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Against a guy that you have never even heard of.
Yeah.
15 minutes, because the psychology and the logic isn't as important in modern wrestling as give these guys time.
Yeah,
to
give him
work.
time. Give him time to put on a 5-star match. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't matter.
he's got to be
He said it doesn't matter. Did you
Yeah.
hear, Dave? It doesn't matter.
and kill this fucking guy. 15 minutes to beat Ace Austin.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, dude. Like,
Doesn't matter.
he's got to be a killer, Dave. He's got to be a killer. They're literally telling that story everywhere except in the ring. He's got to kill Ace Austin.
Okay, but based on that, do you disagree with anything that Alvarez has said to this point on that?
No, and he gets
Same question to you guys. Do you disagree with anything Alvarez is saying? I don't. I agree with him.
No, he's 100% correct.
Yeah, like I'll give Alvarez the credit. Like he's not wrong.
gave facts. He gave facts. They did this, they did this, they did this, they said this.
And that's been something not just with AEW, but with wrestling in general that we've been pointing out for a while. There's a disconnect of what happens in the actual ring.
Yeah.
I don't worry about this stuff because we've already proven for years that it doesn't matter.
It's supposed to matter, Dave. It's supposed to matter. This guy's supposed to be headlining Wembley. We got tickets to sell.
Good.
He's going to be the top guy afterwards.
It's not going to sell one.
Come on.
Number one, it's not going to sell one less ticket. Number two, you got to peak him in August. We're in May.
No, you don't. You got to peak him now because he's about to win the tournament. The tournament is starting, Dave. We're not going to peak him in the tournament.
Good. He's Alvarez is right. I mean, you got to build the guy now. He's saying, "Oh, we don't start building him till 3 months from now." That shows you this guy don't have a clue about freaking booking. He doesn't have a clue. If you know where you're going with somebody, bro, you got to start building their ass. You don't wait another 3 months.
You know, I remember one criticism we had of Alvarez was, remember, we used to always get the clips of him on his other show, Sharing AEW. And we were always like, why don't you say this to Dave? Why don't you say this to Dave?
Yeah.
He's actually saying it to Dave now, and he's been doing it for months. We've had these clips.
Yep.
Him in August. We're in May.
No, you don't. You got to peak him now because he's about to win the tournament. The tournament is starting, Dave. We're not going to peak him in the tournament.
No, he's got to win.
It's a tournament to become the number one contender. He's got to peak in the tournament.
Okay, so if he wins,
so by Alvarez's logic here, to get that main event spot in Wembley, he has to win this tournament. So it's pretty obvious he's going to win this tournament.
And you got to start building him now.
Yeah.
the tournament, do you think one person's going to care that he tried to help Ace Austin? No one's.
How? Okay, so Meltzer's saying he's trying to help Ace Austin by giving him a good match for 15 minutes.
Yes,
that's not a wrestling story on that. That's a behind the scenes thing. That's not your television show.
Exactly right. And what if you're not a mark like all these guys and you don't even know that?
Right.
peak in the tournament.
Okay, so if he wins the tournament, do you think one person's going to care that he tried to help Ace Austin? No one's going to care. They're going to, oh my God, he won the tournament. He beat Swerve. He beat.
Yeah.
No, Alvarez said, "Oh my God!" Like
I know.
he's getting fed up with him.
Yeah.
Who's going to care? They're going to, oh my God, he won the tournament. He beat Swerve. He beat. Who's he beat in the first round? Joe, Samoa Joe, and he'll sell like crazy for Joe too. And at the end,
Go back to that.
who's going to care? They're going to, oh my God, he won the tournament. He beat Swerve. He beat. Who's he beat in the first round? Joe, Samoa Joe, and he'll sell like crazy for Joe too. And at the end, he's going to win the tournament. He's going to go to Wembley. They're going to draw whatever they're going to draw, and the fact that he sold for Ace Austin, no one's even going to remember it. Maybe it'll help Ace Austin a little bit, give him a little credibility.
Not going to help Ace Austin. We know this. We know this.
He's right, though. I mean, he's right,
Okay, but guess what? I mean, that's how they got Kyle Fletcher over. That's how they got Takeshita over. I mean, by doing that exact thing with the same complaints. Oh, why is
Fletcher and Takeshita were heels, so they should be giving a lot to the baby face. This guy's in a storyline where he's a baby face who's been taught to be a killer, except he's the same Will Ospreay.
Okay, so
the only thing he did different was an armbar at the end.
Yeah, because they're trying to get over that he's now a submission guy.
But it's to get over that he was a killer. That's what Moxie said. You're a killer now. You're a bird of prey.
He won by submission, which he never does. He's never won by submission before.
Yeah, he's a killer now, Jeff.
Yeah, all the 15 minutes that it takes to beat this guy that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Well, he gets a submission at the end, so he's a killer now.
Yeah.
Why does he go to Alvarez is making logical sense based on how you should book somebody that you're going to have at the top of your card.
Right.
You imagine Hogan going 15 minutes with somebody you never even heard of, it would have murdered him, right?
Steve Lombardi.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, but yet Meltzer's trying to defend it as it doesn't matter. Well, you know what? All these things matter when you're building somebody up. Every single thing.
Everything should matter at least.
And that's what Alvarez said. When Meltzer said it doesn't matter, Alvarez said, well, it should matter.
Yeah, it should.
So I feel bad for Alvarez. I really do. And that doesn't show that Dave is not on the payroll. I don't know what is. So, Jerry, your thoughts on... yeah.
Jesus. I'm gonna say this. I'm becoming an Alvarez fan.
Same. I took some shots at him in the past, but I've used up on the last 9 months. I have. I feel so bad for him.
Metzer has got to be the dumbest son of a bitch I have ever seen or met.
Oh, he's up there. He really is up there.
I mean,
all right. Chris,
the
your thoughts?
fucker couldn't lead Ants to a picnic.
He couldn't. He probably lead him to some gay club that he goes to on a regular basis.
That's what I like to do.
Yep. All right, Chris, your thoughts on what you just heard?
Yeah, of course. Though I gotta feel bad though, for the guy though, trying to stick around with him though, and his takes though, it's really, really terrible.
I just saw. That's a nightmare. All right, Waleed. How about Meltzer? Try to. No, I was going to make it. Your thoughts on Meltzer trying to defend this shit?
No problem. Thank you very much. In my opinion, I pray that Alvarez, may God be with him for supporting such an idiot. Because all this shit that Dave has been spewing absolutely makes no sense. He's just talking out of his ass.
Agreed. Agreed. All right, Tommy, your thoughts on their argument?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of tuning out because I don't really take him seriously.
Maybe you don't take me seriously. I'm fucking deep that shit.
Yeah, Brian Alvarez just kept contradicting him. That's his own co-host contradicting him, so that's pretty funny. But yeah.
All right, Ada. Take it away of the genius poker that's Dave Meltzer.
Wow. I'm actually starting to become a fan of Alvarez now. I think over the course of whatever time has been going on, he's getting sick of him now. I think Alvarez is starting to wake up. I think he's starting to see the light. I think he's starting to see that Davis full of crap. Whatever he says is nonsense. It's like Brian could be close to just, leaving him on his own and just say, look, I've had enough. I quit. Screw you. And he just leaves the dorky goblin in his little basement, yes. Oh, yes, that's it with Osprey. Get right up in the Astor with Austin. Oh, yes. Don't forget the lubricant now, and I might give you an extra 10 stars.
Dave, you like the friendship bird. I don't know why you want to look all of a sudden.
Oh, God.
So we need a palate. We need a palate cleanser, bro. Can I share my screen?
Uh-oh. All right, go ahead. Let's see what we got. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like hyping me up. I'm like, I want to try kicking.
I mean, in the right section, I don't know if it would
I'm
necessarily
pretty
work.
flexible too, so. Pretty flexible too.
So I did a little bit of martial arts when I was a kid.
What martial arts?
Muay Thai.
Whoa. That takes skill. Can you still do some moves?
Yes,
Yeah, show us some things. Impress us.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Thank you.
So not 5 stars. No, 6 stars. 6 stars.
Mm-hmm.
On a bright scale.
Quality.
All right, that is it. All I got. We got Melts Magoo with the main event. We got our 12 topics, all that good stuff. I guess we'll go around to our plugs. All right, Chris, let's start with you, my friend.
I wanted to get some breaking news stuff, if I may. Just a quick one.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush to end.
Wait, we got.
So I've got some video footage of this was from SmackDown, and they were forced to tarp off a part of the hard cam side at SmackDown. So if I could just share on screen, if I may.
Yeah,
because they didn't have seats sold.
Yeah.
And this is recent, like this past Friday, correct?
Yes. So I'll just share it now.
Go ahead, add it, and I'll add it to the stage here.
So this is real. It's not fake.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Okay.
Okay. Then we can play all full screen as much as I can here. Well, holy shit! Look at that. They're tarping like the entire upper.
Wait, you can full screen that video too, can't you?
Yeah.
See, look at that. They're tarping off. I wonder if they'll show again. Now you have to rewind it there. They're tarping. Yeah, rewind that. Look at this. They're tarping the entire mid deck and upper deck. Well, it's just the lower deck.
Geez, yeah,
Look
my
at
goodness.
Why
It's
you-
like really empty.
You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Bad.
But we're in the boom period, guys. We're in the boom period. Just remember that. We're in the boom period.
I mean, they did rise a little bit. It was a boom period with Roman and the Bloodline, but after that, they completely fell off.
Pretty much.
Holy shit. Oh, that's brutal. I wonder where Raw will be like here in a couple
That
days.
boom period came and went. You can't say we're in a boom period now.
Nah, boom period. We're talking about 90s and 80s. Good stuff. Not tarp down.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying Roman Reigns did have his own little boom with the stock market and,
Oh, for that, yeah. That'll probably be the last major angle. Maybe the majority of people are interested in my opinion. All right, let's go around and get our plugs in. Chris, let's start with you, my friend. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Y2CD1998. I host Spaces streams every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday whenever TWP go live. Go subscribe to Technical Work Rate Productions. They're good gentlemen there. Also go and find me over here on Irish Whips and Arm Drags, as well as Paladin of the Light, as well as Paladin's show, the Holy Soldiers podcast. I also have a special announcement. Since TWRP aren't going to be going live on Sunday, I'll be hosting what I would call a garage pull-up stream, though, which is basically a stream of my own, though. Basically, anybody could come, though, like all of you gentlemen, or like anybody else. So there's that.
All right. Okay, Waleed, where can we find you, my friend? Go ahead, promote your channel, your social media. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, which uses my personal name, being Bakhshi Mohammed Walid. And you can find me on my channel, being Walid the Champ. And I've also be linking my Rumble that I created, and I'll be moving some content there. And you can find me on my Twitter. And I'll be joining on the spaces here and there, and maybe launch a few of my own.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Hell yeah. All right. Ada, where can we find you, my friend?
All right, you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/the Paladin of the Light, where I do my Holy Soldiers podcast. You can also follow me on X, and I've just started streaming there as well. So be sure to follow me at RealPaladin1991. You can also follow me on Instagram and Kick under the same name, the Paladin of the Light. And hopefully soon, I can do streaming some video games very, very soon. I've kind of missed it a lot. So there will be future content coming, so please stay tuned. It's coming soon.
All right, guys, patreon.com/RussoTWC. Myself in the frontline tier are there once a month with Vince Russo and Jeff Lane, and we castrate the dirt sheet marks that deserve it. And we also got a shed ton of shows that you'll be entertained by, so check us out on Patreon. And you can also find me on YouTube, Instagram, and X at Catman580 if you want to check out my stuff, give me a like and a follow. And you can also find me every Friday afternoon, usually 4 p.m. Central Time, on Paladin's Holy Soldier Show on Twitch and X. Find me here on Saturday afternoon to the early evening of Irish Whips and Arm Drags. And don't forget, every Thursday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, on Psychopathic Records YouTube channel. Check out ECW Lunacy, man. If you like Attitude Era, the ECW type of angles and characters and storylines, check us out, man. JCW Lunacy. All right, Tommy, take us away.
Yeah, man, you already know my girl got a message for y'all, man.
Subscribe to Irish Whips and Arm Drags.
That's all I gotta say, man.
All right, so thank you again for tuning in to episode 25 of Irish Whips and Arm Drags. We will be back here next weekend. Same bat time, same bat chat.